Oh man, we're live now. Good morning, everyone. I am your disembodied voice and Velociraptor Valdrius. Welcome back to our Extra Life TTRPG Marathon, where we're doing 9 games over the weekend. We're in game 4 of 9 today, Heartbeats a Complete Sync. If you don't know what Extra Life is, it is a charity drive happening this weekend where we're raising money for our local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So if you have joined the team, or if you type in !extra life in chat, it'll bring you to the team page, and you can choose a team member to donate to. We are currently at 838, I believe. Or, no, yeah, 88. We're at 888. We're at 888 right now. Someone recently donated. I will check on that donation to see. And yeah, we're at that out of 1,200, so we'll see. There's like some weird goal to get 1,200 today or now, like in the next 3.5 hours. I'm not sure.
Right now.
Right now, 1,200 immediately. And just for a heads up, I am matching all of my sub points for the month of November with a $1 donation. So if you have a Twitch Prime, just like Spiritus Lupus did there, and would like to help contribute to the fundraiser, but you just don't have the muns, I got you covered. And without further ado, I'm going to go back into the background and not to be perceived, and I will kick it off and let Nathan take it over. Go ahead, Nathan.
Sure thing. Hi, everybody. I am your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. It's a pleasure to see you all on this delightful, auspicious Saturday. It's currently Saturday morning, like 8 a.m., I think, in some places in the US, and it's 3 p.m. here. So let's fucking rave, shall we? Let's get hype. Let's get crunk. I'm ready. I hope that you're all ready too to party real hard. We are going to be playing, as been said, Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, which is a tabletop RPG yours truly wrote, inspired by a wide variety of shonen battle anime and JRPGs like Kingdom Hearts, The World Ends With You, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, you know, that kind of thing. And it's also I would say designed specifically for actual play like this. So I hope you will enjoy the adventure that we are about to tell to you today. Who is going to tell to you today? Well, we should probably introduce the fantastic players that we have with us. Let's go through with the order that I have on my Zoom. Let's start with Celeste. Hi, Celeste.
Hi everybody, I'm Celeste. I use they or he pronouns. I'll be playing Hideo Katsumatsu using he or he him pronouns. Do we do slight descriptions yet?
Or we can do character descriptions when we get into the story. Hype yourself, plug yourself.
I'm Celeste PLS on with way too many underscores on Twitter. I'm Celeste Shepherd here on Twitch. I don't do a whole lot of streaming of my own, but you catch me on other people's channels all the time. And you know, I have a good time whenever I can, and I make it queer all the time, 100% of the time, never not queer.
Absolutely, we stand a queer tabletop RPG in this house. Up next, we have the delightful Spencer.
Help if I was able to click the mute button correctly. Hello, I am Spencer, aka @SpencerDVA on Twitter and Discord, etc. I use he/him pronouns, and today I am playing Musashi Nishimiya, who also uses he/him pronouns. I am a huge fan of all things shonen and shonen battle anime, so I'm very excited for this particular one shot.
Aww, yay. And last, but by absolutely no means least, the indomitable Anna.
Oh, wow, indomitable. I like that. Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Anna. You can find me at Nymeria941 pretty much everywhere on the internet, mostly playing games and then making them. And then today, I'm going to be playing Crimson Kite, who uses they, them pronouns. I use she, they. Forgot to say that.
No problem at all. As said before, I am Nathan Blades. I designed this game. If you would like to play this game, you can go get it at sixofspades.itch.io. The link is in the chat, doobly-doo. The Nightbot's going to yell at me for it, but I don't care. We're too hype. I'm just making sure that everybody's audio levels seem good and our volume seems great. let's get into what this game is and setting up our characters. So I introduced that this is a shonen-inspired thing, but let's get into the specifics of it, shall we? So Heartbeats in Perfect Sync is about ordinary people who battle against the darkness in people's hearts, also known as the Pulse, using weapons summoned from their smartphone. Why do they fight evil in people's hearts? Why do they summon weapons from people's smartphones? You don't care. You're already like 5 episodes into this anime, and you're already too invested to really care too much about the details of the lore. If you have too much trouble with it, we can pass you through it. Okay, no problem at all. Yes, with that out of the way. So, the interesting thing about Heartbeats, I just realized that I'm not running this stream, so I don't have to live respond to people in chat today. So I shall not perceive chat while trying to be a showman today. Apologies. To fight the darkness in people's hearts, we are going to be using a large amount of dice that you will not see because the Roll20 is not visible, but we will be talking about our dice rolls as we do it. Each character has a heart rate ranging from 1 to 10. It starts at 5, and the heart rate of 5 is what they will be rolling as their dice pool whenever the outcome of something is uncertain. They roll their heart rate, trying to roll as many 5s and 6s as possible against the target to difficulty that I set, and then depending on the results, whether they succeed or fail, their heart rate will change. Yes, as we proceed in this game, we are going to be seeing our characters get more or less emotional as things go, and their character acting, because we have fantastic actors with us today, will reflect these changes in tension within their hearts. And well, if their heart rate happens to go below 1 or above 10, something might happen, but we're not going to worry about that too much. We're not going to be stressing about that at all. No way, no way. In fact, what we will be stressing about is where we want to begin our adventure in the city of Jungsburg. This one shot being heavily inspired by the Persona series. We're going to be leaning heavy into the Jungian psychology. Subtext is indeed for cowards. But we're looking over this coastal city. It is one of the biggest cities in the world. Well, nah. It's an all right sized city. It's an alright sized city. If you would have been taught about Jungsburg as a major city in high school and know what country it's in, but we're not going to determine what country it's in because we're going to keep this nice and delightfully vague. But we're looking over this coastal city, and we're going to be zooming in on one of 3 locations because it's the middle of a work day. It's the middle of a work day, and our 3 players are busy at work. So where is the camera going to zoom into? Who would like to kind of take the first scene, as it were? You're all muted, so one of you is going to have to unmute
I'll go.
yourselves.
Fine.
There we go.
That's fine by me. We zoom in on a pretty little cafe on a street corner in the city. And as we zoom in through the front doors, we see a number of gentlemen dressed in maid outfits serving customers. One of which is a dark-haired, bespectacled young man who bows as he presents a cup of tea to another young man and grins. Your tea, master.
Oh, I mean, thank you. I did pay for the extra service. So
Of course, master. Allow
when
me
you're
to
ready.
join you. And he sits next to him and drapes an arm lazily around his shoulders.
And the dude immediately goes a bright shade of crimson, clearly ponying up the money for the special service, but their heart was not ready for this moment. And as we see this customer flush. The camera moves over to this maid outfitted wearing individual, and there is a freeze frame as the gigantic words "Hideo Katamatsu" appears on screen in block capitals. Give yourself a little bit of a voiceover. Explain who you are.
I am Hideo Katsumatsu. I am 23 years old. I live here in the city and have for my entire life. And I am very proud of my service that I provide to the city. Everybody needs a friend every now and then. I like to think myself many people's friends.
Indeed. And as the freeze frame comes to an end and motion begins again, there is like a loud like group laughter behind you, and you were aware of this table when you started your shift, and it is a group of it's a group of high schoolers. It's like mixed company. Like mixed gendered company, but it's definitely the kind of what you would describe as the mean girls in a high school. And they're just kind of, oh my god, this place is like so chintzy. Why did you even bring us here? Oh, well, one of our, did you know that one of our classmates actually works here? Like, what a joke, right? Their face is going to absolutely crack in two when they go and see that we're here. Oh my god, I can't wait to see his face. One of your colleagues, Quentin Hideo, has recently started working here and has been really getting into the work and has been doing a really, really good job. But they've been kind of nervous around the kind of like after school hours, early after school hours when their shift starts and on some days and weekends. Like they were expecting somebody to show up, and you have a feeling that this group might be the people that Quentin was worried about.
Excuse me, Master. I have to attend to some other duties.
Oh, okay. Don't keep me waiting too long.
Hideo stands and he walks over to the group of young people and he flourishes a bow. Can I help you?
Well, I think that you could definitely help me by going and wearing something with higher quality cotton than what you're wearing. That's like Party City shit.
The uniforms are quality enough, and the service is much more so. Would you like to find out?
Well, I think you could go and get me. And she starts reeling off a very elaborate order for the entire table simultaneously. This lady is clearly the head of this gang of teens, this roving band of feral teens. I would like you to go and make a roll. Please go and give me use the macro provided to go and roll me 5d6. When you click on that, it will give you. I'm explaining for the table, but those who are listening in, we are using a custom macro in Roll20 to go and do these rolls. We will be announcing the results of the rolls on the other side. Did you do the roll already?
No, I haven't. If you'll remind me, the tags can be invoked once per scene, correct?
Once per session.
Once per session. Okay.
Yeah, they are things that are relating to your character across the time. But yeah, you only get a bonus for them once. But yes, so okay, go and give me your 5d6 roll, please.
Oh, whoopsie.
Oh, did that not take?
No, I forgot to enter the. There we go. Got it.
There we go. Fantastic. So I was going to go and make that I should remember to go and set the target difficulty up front. That was going to be a 1 success difficulty check. And you rolled 2 successes, which means that you succeed at what you're trying to do. So first go and tell me how you go and handle this lady's overly long and kind of bullshit order.
Hideo actually doesn't even reach for a notepad. He stands there perfectly still, listening to the order, occasionally nodding to show that he's actively listening. And then he immediately rattles it off backwards to assure that he has it correct before going behind the counter and beginning to make the drinks and the food items, multitasking as he goes. He has several things running at one time, and he's clearly very good at his job.
Wow, he's like super good at this. Just shut up, Bob. I thought I'd be able to throw him off there. Damn. And you've made her look a bit of a fool in front of her colleagues and peers. So with you succeeding the role, you also get to change your own heart rate. You can move it up or down by 1 or keep it as it is. So would you like to change your heart rate, Hideo?
I feel like it's dramatically appropriate to bring it down because he's not been flustered by this at all.
Right, so your heart rate has been lowered to 4. Please do note that for yourself. If you need me to keep a track of it for you, I can. But if you wouldn't mind keeping track of that your own end, that'd be fantastic. All right, so you've made your splendiferous order. How do you want to close the scene out before we move somewhere else?
He presents the tray of drinks, which he does carry in just the one hand, to the group. He lays it on a table, and then he flourishes another bow. Please do let me know if there's any other way I can be of service, master. And he winks, and then strides back over to the young man who had his attention before. Now, where were we? Over
behind you, you hear the queen bee of the group go, "This place sucks, actually. Should we go to the Pink Diamond tonight? Like, that'd be so much cooler." As the camera moves away out of the cafe and back over, sweeping over the city. Where do we zoom into next?
I can go. So
Okay,
where
yeah,
you zoom into next is a couple of blocks away where you see a rather small, kind of short individual, pastel blue and pink hair tied back with a red ribbon, bright red ribbon, and they're wearing a sort of official mail courier uniform of whatever the city courier service is, and they're kind
Jungsburg Postal Service.
Jungsburg Postal Service. So I'm I've got my little JPS embroidered on the side so everyone knows that it's official. And you see them just sort of trying to wrestle this hand truck full of packages and parcels and things like that up through a curb. They're just like, oh, come on, I need to make sure that this gets delivered on time. And then with a sort of almighty flex of all of the muscles of this person's tiny form, gets it up over the curve, and they're just pushing the truck along, dropping packages off, putting letters through mail slots, all that sort of daily duties of a postal courier.
Yeah, your trusty mail cart has done you well across your years. How long have you been working for JPS?
Well, I really started it after I graduated, which was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a little while. And I'm still technically considered an apprentice. A lot of people that were in my class moved up a little bit more quickly than me, but I'm just taking my time. I'm just doing the best that I can out here, and yeah, that's what's important.
We get a flashback of some of your rivals in postal school, which for some reason has a student council, and all of them are kind of shadowy figures towering over you as they kind of one of them, with, even though that they're about your age, but is just built like a Mack truck pulling a postal cart 3 times the size of yours, laughing in a surprisingly kind of way as he pushes this gigantic mail truck along. But you push that thought aside. Now is not the time to dwell on your previous hard knock life school experiences. today is the part of the postal tour that you kind of dread doing, like putting the post along Snake Spine Hill. Snake Spine Hill is the tallest, windiest road in the Heights. One of the kind of like mountainous parts of Jungsburg, and the teens like to like skateboard down it. At night, the boy racers like to do power slides down it. And during the day, you have to go and try and push your mail cart down it without losing entire control. And yeah, you start your route. It's going well. It's going well. And a little old lady is starting to kind of like cross the road, and it's sort of like, "Hello, Crimson. It's good to see you out again today." Whoa! And then she trips in slow motion. You see her start to trip. You need to go and rescue her, maybe, but then you'd have to let go of the cart. And with a steep hill like this, who knows what might happen?
So I wanted to say, rather foolishly, when the lady says hello, she's like, "Oh, hi!" And she totally already takes one hand, or they already take one hand off of the cart. And then as soon as the old lady starts to go down, is like, "Don't worry, I got this!" And just lets go, dives into the street as dramatically as possible to try and catch her.
All right.
What do I roll for that?
Well, every time you roll, you only ever roll your heart rate. I didn't get to set this up
Okay.
with you before we went on air, but if you go to the macros tab, you'll see that there is a macro for heartbeat
Yes, heartbeat roll. I have that
Yeah.
clicked, so.
Would
That's
you
my
like to
heart
add
rate
any
is
of your tanks to
5.
this roll?
No, not yet.
No problem.
I think if I fail, I want to do it gloriously.
Mm-hmm.
How many bonus dice? 0.
0.
3 successes.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be another similarly one-hit roll. So with 3 successes, if you succeed, if you beat the target in excess of 2, it's an exceed in all caps, which is essentially a critical. So you critical hit in trying to save this old lady from tripping.
Nice.
Tell me. Let's go and kick up the action volume a bit, because you're doing something daring do with a crit.
Okay.
Let's see this.
So I want to say that because I did crit on this, the sort of training that I got about always remembering to engage the handbrake when you're delivering mail up a hill kicks in. So what I do is, with the one hand that's still attached to the postal courier thing, I engage the brake and I try to time it so that as the cart begins rolling down the hill, it's going to kind of come to a stop on its side. And that's going to basically be a buffer between me saving this old lady and like oncoming traffic. So we have a little bit of an impromptu roadblock as I dive into the street. And we're just like, yes, I got you.
Oh, thank you. These legs aren't what it used to be.
Well, you know, this is just part of my job. Just doing my duty. Happy to help.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, I'm sure I will see you again on another day. But for now, because I've now reached the top of Snake Spine Hill, and she kind of reaches into her, like, little old lady, like, shoulder bag and pulls out a collapsible skateboard, which she then jumps on and does a wicked sick grind on a railing down the side of the hill. See you later!
Yeah, sure. So, see you later.
Down the you kind of watch her go down the hill as she like does an ollie over a car, then kind of like lands on like an electric railing and starts spark grinding on that somewhere else within the city as the camera pulls away. And we go to our last location with our third player. Where does the camera head to?
It heads to sort of like this very like not necessarily run down, but maybe rustic, to put it one way, looking coffee shop. And just like every movie ever,
shop, huh?
you see the camera go into the door, you hear the bell jingle, and it sort of pans up, revealing probably someone who looks like they would probably be a freshman in college.
Mhm.
Sort of lanky looking, sort of maybe about neck length, brown hair. And you see they actually have like a set of headphones that's sort of at the moment resting on their neck.
Mm.
And you hear the song Money by Lisa playing very quietly on the headset.
Well, we can't do that, otherwise Twitch
Oh,
would
yeah, I
put me
know.
in jail, but go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna get us DMCA, don't worry. But he's sort of reading one of the cups. Order for Kathy.
Yes, that would be me. I am Kathy.
All right.
Do you have my 12-shot espresso?
Yes, don't worry, ma'am, I do. And he sort of slides the cup over.
Excellent. As she kind of like takes the lid off the coffee, you kind of get a inhale. I have no idea if the mic picked that up. As you just, I think you actually kind of the force of this gets a couple like motes of foam on top of the coffee that just like as if they were sucked into a black hole, just vanish up this lady's nostrils. Adequate. Glunk, 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 glunk. And she stares at you and goes, I think I could do with another. And the stare in her eyes, like the intensity, rocks you to your very core. Your manager has told you about Kathy. Almost cryptid-like. That tends to come in literally once every full moon. You know there's going to be a full moon tonight because she has shown up to the establishment. But you've not been on the same shift as her. You've only ever heard about Kathy previously, and other people have failed providing her coffees. They have lost their nerve partway through the pulling procedure. They have just the passive amount of caffeine emanating from this dense serving has made their hands shake and they have dropped the cup mid-serving. Few people have survived the second order from Kathy. But today might be your day.
We'll
Are you
find
okay with
out.
making this a little harder for you?
Oh, without a doubt, please.
This might be a 2-hit challenge. Oh, also for Crimson, I didn't say, you can change your heart rate up or down by 1 if you should so choose.
Ooh, I'm gonna go up by 1 because that was adrenaline pumping to say the least, and I'm still climbing up a hill.
Absolutely. So yes, Musashi, if you would please give me a heart rate roll, trying to beat 2 successes.
Okay. Let's see. So 5.
Also, things are way more tense than this. Hold up.
Do our mundane jobs count as tags in this?
Absolutely, they do.
Oh, I am absolutely going to use my coffee shop barista tag then. And that adds 2, if I remember right.
Indeed, it does. So you put in your basic heart rate, and then I'll ask you how many bonus dice.
All right, let's go.
With 4 successes. So you critical succeed this.
Yes.
Please do tell me how you managed to withstand the sheer caffeine eldritch energy of Kathy.
I like to think it's because this guy's a college student. He probably drinks just as much caffeine as this lady does. And he'll go and start making it and maybe past one of the other baristas. He's just like, this is what happens when your name's Kathy, but it's spelled with a C at the beginning and an I at the end. Jesus.
Kathy with an I. Wow.
And we'll just very like, almost like begrudgingly make it and just like slides it over with the lid already off.
And again, she takes a deep inhale and drinks this second one. And as she, like, her eyes lower to meet yours again, there's just, you can feel your heart pounding in your chest.
Mm.
And her eyes glitter like stars. This is very good. Wow. Do you know, it's rare to find people who can serve a drink that can be to my standards and to my requests. In fact, there is something of a venture that I'm involved in as of late, to which I'm handling the catering for. A special exclusive party at the Pink Diamond nightclub. I think they would probably be looking for somebody of your caliber on bar staff. And she pulls a business card from her pocket. She has like an 80s like padded shoulders business suit, I think. White, not a speck of coffee on it.
Mm.
As she gives you this business card.
Takes it, kind of looks it over. Is it a very gaudy looking business card?
Oh yes. Let's go. So at first glance, it seems relatively unassuming, and it's like a matte black. And then you tilt the card, and it stays the same level of matte black. It seems to be treated in a special way that absorbs light very carefully. But kind of like the text embossed in it is like a lurid fuchsia that says on it quite simply Pink Diamond Nightclub with an address and the phone number. There is like an almost nauseating oil slick sheen to the pink. The way that it moves in the light makes your stomach turn a little bit. It's very uncanny.
Yeah. Sort of looks it over, tucks it into like the breast pocket of the apron he's wearing. I'll be sure to give him a call. Thank you.
There is actually an event on this evening if you're interested in going. And she pulls from inside her business suit again a cigarette, lights it, entirely ignoring that, you know, the city has had no smoking policies for years, and just walks out of the cafe. How would you like to change your heart rate?
Well, I was thinking about lowering it, but then she lit a cigarette inside, so I'm actually gonna raise it by 1, so I'm at 6 for my heart rate now.
Indeed. Very good.
And as soon as she leaves, I assume there's probably gonna be another barista beside him. He just kind of turns like, she's kind of a bitch, isn't she?
I don't know. She's demanding, I guess, but like, I mean, I can't pour that kind of coffee, you know what I'm saying? So
Right, but what obnoxious asshole lights a cigarette inside? She knows there's an ordinance.
yeah. And there's like the energy radiating off your colleague gives the impression that he wishes that he could be as bad a bitch as Kathy with an eye. As we pull out to the city again, and it moves to evening. And all your shifts have ended. What do you guys like doing? Because, you know, you're all friends, you all know each other. What do you guys like doing once you finish work? Where do you hang out?
Crimson likes to party hardy, but knows that they're not cool. So they're gonna go wherever it is that Hideo decides to go, because they're like, you're the one that has like good taste, and I don't know what I'm doing. I like to drink hot chocolate with a straw.
Love to go to the club to drink hot chocolate. Hell yeah.
Is Crimson also the kind of person that has like whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles in their hot chocolate as well?
Yeah, like at a minimum.
I love them so much.
And you just see like this sort of just like thought bubble pop up over their head. I'm so sorry, I have no anime experience, but I'm like thought bubble pop up over their head with the like heart music to the pantry that's like back at their apartment. and there's literally like a color-coded collection of sprinkles for like different holiday color schemes. And they're just like, yeah, I mean, like, who doesn't?
I assume has Musashi been to Crimson's place and like seen this color-coded sprinkle assortment?
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
And he'll just be like, yeah, you have like taupe colored sprinkles there. I didn't know that was a thing until I visited you.
Sometimes you really like those for contrast if you ever color the whipped cream purple. It's kind of an edge case, but you can never be too prepared.
Right.
Are we putting ourselves to Crimson's place then for what you are doing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, okay, cool, we can do that. Yeah, Crimson's place. What's Crimson's apartment like, or house, or wherever they're like based?
I think it's an apartment, and it's. Try to imagine if somebody like went full bore into the cute aesthetic for their Animal Crossing house. So it's got a lot of little like pastel decorations around, just little like figurines of like animals frolicking around the fields. As the aforementioned sprinkle thing, there's a lot of those like old-timey iron curly Q chairs and stuff in the kitchen, plenty for people to sit on. And it's also just very light on the inside. Like, for such a small apartment, there's actually a surprising amount of like window space that's just letting in some nice natural light from the sunset. And we're doing the sort of like thing where you're animated to look like you have multiple sets of arms as they're just like making, you know, drinks for people and setting out some snacks and
it's funny because Hideo, who has not taken off the maid outfit, by the way,
method.
Normally he's the one who's like, even if he's at somebody else's house, he's normally the one serving drinks, and he actually looks just a little bit uncomfortable that he's the one being served. So he's like sitting there awkwardly with his hands in his lap, like refraining from doing it.
Even though Musashi's very like semi-soft spoken and doesn't really wear anything vibrant, he will ask you for the most vibrantly colored hot chocolate thing you can make.
Yep, definitely going with the rainbow marshmallows on this one.
And as you're putting together Musashi's hot chocolate, you feel that you need to go and give him a little extra for this, because he's been going through a bit of a rough time as of late. While you all maintain normal everyday lives during the day, every so often you're all called into action when a creeping menace known as the Pulse attacks the city of Youngsburg. And you've handled it a couple of times. After all, we are mid-season of this anime, so we've kind of established everybody's introductory arcs and stuff. And we're at that point in the arc where you had a battle that didn't quite go your way against a previous foe. In our session 0, we did talk a little bit about what the previous foe was like, but I can remind if for the table, unless somebody wants to go and take the reins from me on that.
Ooh, like a flashback.
We can absolutely do it as a flashback if we want. Hell yeah.
I think it would be good for you to set the scene for us for that flashback, Nathan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's go and find the. Oh no, we got the jam. Hold on. I love doing soundtracks for these things. Yeah, here we go. Nice. So it was actually not that long ago. It was about 2-3 days ago. And we are immediately after a huge battle. You were all fighting against the most recent Pulse attack. A cryptid, a physical manifestation of paranoia, had been attacking people in downtown Youngsburg, making them turn against each other, making them hurl baseless accusations at each other. always appearing in the corner of people's eyes, but never directly visible. There were active just brawling in the streets. That little old lady that was grinding down Snake Spine Hill, she was like beating people with a cane, tears in her eyes as she was fighting her loved ones over a kind of like a argument that you don't even fully understand what the argument was, but to them it felt real. And the worst part of it all, even though you managed to save people from getting too hurt, the paranoia managed to get away. And worst of all, well, you wonder if it had an effect on any of you.
Can I ask a quick question of Musashi?
Absolutely.
Does Musashi drink? So like when you want like a little something extra in the, because I would know this at this point. I'm not gonna like give you a shot of something if I know that's not what you are liking. That'll inform me.
Yeah. I mean, he does every now and then. Like,
Okay.
he's one of those people that is very much like the social kind of drinker.
Okay.
Like, if his friends want to drink, he will, but typically he won't drink on his own or won't go out on his own volition and do it.
So Crimson's gonna pull out a sort of warm amber liquid type of thing in kind of a moonshine bottle with like the little X's on it. It's got a little cinnamon stick and a little piece of star anise inside of it, and just like pour out a couple of shots of it, put one in yours and one in theirs. And then I think as I pass you the cup and our hands touch briefly is when we get that sort of like shudder of the paranoia monster making us feel really weird, even though we've been friends for a while. It's just that weird, uncanny feeling. Like my mom always used to call it like someone walked over your grave. You know what I mean? Where you get that weird,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly, like weird chills. And then they just sort of like shake it off and is like, cheers to you, friend. Hideo, you're welcome if you want some too.
Of course, Crimson. Thank you.
So I had a really weird day at work. There was this like old lady crossing the street and needed like help because she was falling down, and there was this whole thing with the hand truck, and then she just pulls a skateboard out of her bag and just grinds down the hill. I really just somehow feel like, I don't know, I remember her from somewhere. Maybe she just has one of those faces.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like those people in movies, I guess. You see him and it's like, oh, it's that guy. I've seen him in stuff before. And
Yeah, one of those things. But otherwise, pretty normal day, honestly.
Hideo,
Mm-hmm.
as you kind of sit and watch this conversation between Crimson and Musashi, there's just a weird energy still. Partially because you're reflecting on a combat that didn't quite go to plan. But you did see somehow the pulses. I think, Hideo, you specifically saw the pulse attack Musashi. Can you describe maybe what this attack was? But something has been lingering in Musashi ever since. Maybe it's not visible, maybe it is, but yeah.
So Musashi didn't see it because it only like lingers in the corner of the vision, but Hideo got a very clear view of the creature wrapping its hands around his head and implanting that paranoia into his brain. And there was like a flash in his eyes when it happened. And Hideo had tried to stop it, but that unfortunately manifested as Musashi believing that Hideo was trying to attack him.
Oh. Jeez.
And as Musashi kind of takes the hot chocolate from Crimson, and both Crimson and Musashi look at you to offer you one as well, you see that glint in Musashi's eye again. And maybe it was just the lighting in the room. There are a lot of fairy lights in here. But maybe it was the pulse. Maybe it's back.
Musashi, how was your day?
I mean, it was work, I guess. Had this. I guess it's well, cryptid is the word we use, but this lady who apparently comes in only during a full moon. Yeah, I hadn't seen her because I just moved here. A few months ago. College is about to start, but yeah, she apparently came in today while I was working, and she seemed like odd, but because she wanted 12 shots of espresso in her drink, but it wasn't a weird day at all.
Wait a second. You're telling me some weird lady comes in on a full moon
Yeah.
and wants 12 shots of espresso in her drink?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That seems kind of like werewolfy, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Does she have pointy teeth?
not that I could tell.
Really long fingernails?
She did have very long fingernails.
Don't a lot of really I don't know, rich individuals have stupidly long fingernails because they always have acrylics and stuff. I don't know.
It's not our place to question, only to serve.
Sorry. I thought you were going to be they have that really long coke nail, and you didn't go there. And
I was thinking it too.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder if she does.
It really just wouldn't be within regulation for my job, but I had to ask.
but she also lit a cigarette indoors, so kind of fuck her. So just drinks more of the hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm. You glance outside. It is definitely a full moon tonight, and you maybe it's just because you've had the conversation and not because the card is haunted or whatever, but you feel in your breast pocket just a warmth, and you remember that she gave something to you.
Oh yeah, hold on. He's not wearing his apron anymore, but he did kind of keep it in his wallet, so he'll take out. It's this beat to hell and back wallet that he needs to replace, but he likes the wallet, so he doesn't want to. And
me out.
Sort of just pulls out this business card. Yeah, it said something to me about working bar at this place called the Pink Diamond tonight. I've never been there myself, but if it's extra money.
I heard mention of this Pink Diamond as well today.
Huh.
A group of youths came in, said they would be going there this evening.
Oh. Is it one of those places that people go to, only, not, the girls that nobody likes in high school, that for some reason become nurses, those kinds of people? No?
Yes, she did look like she would become a nurse at some point. For, what is it the kids say nowadays? The clout?
Yeah. And, most of the time they usually bullied other kids in high school, so they think if they become a nurse, they'll just absolve them.
No, I've always found that it's the case they want to continue to have power over people, and that's why they choose the position.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like one of those places.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, the moon, the full moon beams in through the window as you continue to finish your hot chocolate. Is there anything else that you guys do with your evening before you kind of start to head your separate ways?
Ooh.
You said it's the start of the weekend, right?
Yeah. Let's say
Okay.
it's like a Friday night. Let's say it's a Friday night for sure.
Okay.
So Crimson begins their start of the weekend ritual that they do of taking care of the hand truck, which similar to if you've lived in like a city apartment, how you carry your bicycle like upstairs to keep inside of your apartment, they carry up the hand truck, which basically gets like a nice little cleanup, a little buff. There's a little spray tag on the little foot push thing that you use to angle it that just says game over. And so they're kind of like touching up the paint on that a little bit just in case it got. And it's just sort of this very particular, almost like a ritualistic thing that they do with this hand truck. No special reason.
Hideo and Musashi, do you stick around for the ritual, or are you saying your goodnights?
I think he's saying his goodnights. He's getting ready to, I guess, like, this is a club. He should probably somewhat dress the part if he's going to be tending coffee bar, I guess, while he's there. So, he's going to go home and sort of, I guess, get dressed the part. He's going to put on, like, the one nice set of clothes that he has. Ken has this, like, charcoal gray sort of, like, velvet vest that he puts on over a sort of, like, white dress shirt. And then he has this, like, sky blue, like, bow tie that he puts on. Slips on similarly colored gray dress pants and a well-loved pair of dress shoes.
I want to say Hideo stops him right before he leaves out from Crimson's place.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you sure you're all right?
I mean, saw a weird lady today, but that was about it. Yeah.
And you would tell me if you weren't?
I mean, yeah, pretty sure, unless something was, I don't know, controlling me. Why?
I just want to be certain that you still trust me.
He kind of gets that look of like, like, why are you asking me this question? He's like, I do. I mean, yeah, the attack all that time was weird, but it hasn't made me like not trust you, I think.
If you say so. And Hideo, like, very gently places a hand on his shoulder and gives him a pat before he walks away.
All right. And he just turns around, starts to go out the door, and you probably hear a very quiet, well, that was weird, as he closes the door behind him.
Nice. And we fast forward in time a little bit, and we find ourselves outside of the Pink Diamond nightclub. Yeah. And it is, this queue is long. This queue's pretty long. There are a wide variety of people of all sorts of different backgrounds really kind of queuing for this thing. You figure with a name like Pink Diamond, it would be one of those kind of like femme bougie kind of places. But like any kind of particular nightclub genre, punters are definitely queuing outside. There are even a couple of like metal bar style folks who are kind of queuing up for this thing with a bouncer that is kind of like, you know, at the distance of the camera that we're at, we don't really hear the conversations, but it seems that the people who are going up to the bouncer seem to be showing some kind of information, and the bouncer is looking them up and down carefully, and about a third of the people are maybe getting in. And as you arrive to this nightclub, Musashi, you just kind of get somebody walking by you, going kind of like, oh man, I really wanted to get partying tonight. This is not fair. What do I have that they don't? It's just really bummed me out. Ruined my night. As they wander past you into the evening.
Well. Oh yeah, I guess he hasn't done this, but he'll kind of, pull the card out again, looks at it. Even though he's outside the club, he's gonna pull out his phone really quick and call the number on the card.
Interesting. Yeah, we can keep this tune for now. It rings a couple times, and on the other side of it, it is this is Kathy Mendoza. I wonder if this is the barista that I was speaking to earlier today.
Yeah, he has a name. It's Musashi. Anyways, I'm outside the club. You can probably hear all the people talking on the other side of the phone, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get in, if you're getting me.
Well, you have my business card. Just show the business card to the bouncer and they'll let you inside. It's not rocket science.
He holds back like one of those very just already done size.
I mean, if you don't have to take the offer if your nerves can't take it, but we are offering an opening salary of. No. Hold on.
Yeah.
We are offering salary of, and the camera kind of cuts away, so the camera doesn't hear the amount that's on the phone.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We do see Musashi's expression.
Okay. I'll be there in a few minutes. Click.
Very good. Yeah.
And he'll show the business card to the bouncer.
The bouncer isn't necessarily wide, but he sure do fucking be tall. Almost kind of like an 8-foot closed umbrella, I think is the best way. There is some swirl to this man. Despite being in a business suit, there is something about his essence that feels twisty. And they lean over with an almost audible kind of creak. So who are you then, mate?
Yeah. Name's Musashi, Kathy.
Musashi Nishimiya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's in his head, but...
Well, it seems that we're expecting you. Right this way. As the bouncer kind of opens the velvet rope and leads you inside. And there is just audible raucousness from the crowd who've been queuing for a very long time to kind of get into this venue. You just kind of walk past and you start going down these stairs. Down. It takes a while. You're walking downstairs for a good minute before you are kind of entering in to this open plan of the nightclub. And it's even though the night is still young, at least especially for nightclub hours, it's heaving a little bit. It seems that most things in the space are black, and you only really get a gist of the form of the space by the various kind of lights in the ceiling as they rim light accent kind of various space, and the sound of the kind of the sound of the DJ kind of keeps filling our audience's ears until we cut elsewhere. I think that we are. Where do we want to cut to with our two other players? The joys of doing this entirely via improv. Hideo, you are making your way back home. How do you get back home, by the way? What's your kind of general kind of route back? Do you take the train? Do you walk? Do you cycle?
I think he walks pretty much everywhere.
Mm. And the you actually pass by your place of work with the kind of layout of the city and the easiest way to get from Crimson's place to yours. You like to go past the building because you really enjoy working here, and it's nice to be able to see it even closed. The kind of like there's somebody when they close shop, they still kind of polish the brass handle to the door of the cafe, and it sparkles in the moonlight. And it is a full moon tonight, so it looks actually especially picturesque as you kind of walk through. I think this place is in the historic quarter, so the road is actually cobbled, and we hear your kind of like maid heels click clacking across cobblestone as you are slowly making your way back to the house. And actually coming from the other direction is it's Quentin, your colleague, from who didn't go onto shop floor when his school friends were around, but so you didn't really see him for much of your shift, but you run into him now as he's kind of coming in on the opposite direction.
Good evening, Quentin.
Good evening. He bows.
Are you well?
Well, I suppose I'm surviving. Yes. I must say thank you very much for covering for my shift today. I appreciate it.
Of course. Is there anything I can do to help?
It's not. Well, to be honest, if we're to be proceeding with things like this, I need to get used to the fact that there will be all sorts who will be serving at our establishment, and as a professional male maid, TM, I have to serve all comers, regardless of their creeds, class, or background. So, I think I learned something today from watching you.
Just remember not to take it personally, even if they try to make it personal.
Yes. And you see him fish out from inside of his. I think he's just generally wearing. I think he's smart casual. He's not in work gear, even though you are. And pulls out of his jacket a set of keys to the cafe. Which strikes you as slightly odd because clearly the place has been cleaned and closed because the front door is brass sheened. You saw yourself. So whoever was closing shop today already seems to have done so.
Are you opening tomorrow morning?
Yes, in fact, I am. I'm just kind of doing the last bit of the rounds for now. And also, I must say, it is a little embarrassing. I was running low on a couple of tea making supplies back at home, and unfortunately, the place that I would normally go and get tea supplies from is closed at this hour. So I figured that I would resupply on some sugar and some tea bags, and leave a note that I will be refunding the. I'll put the money in the till for it and everything. But yes, I need to get into the building. Before tomorrow.
I'd be happy to assist you.
Okay, sure. That's fine. And we go inside the cafe, and it has a really different energy at night when there's nobody here. It doesn't feel like outside is peaceful. You get the passive sounds of the city and all that. But the door is properly kind of soundproofed from street noise, and without the kind of sound of the coffee percolator, and without the sound of delightfully chatting customers, the building feels just a little lonely. And the Quentin kind of is right. Let me go and get the bits and pieces. Excuse me. And he he moves away into the back where the storage cupboard is, and he's gone for a little too long.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him longer than like 5 minutes before I slowly and quietly sort of like step behind the counter and try to get eyes on him and see what he's up to.
As you kind of make your way into the kind of like storage closet behind, you see him kind of like huddled up a little bit on the floor, and you wonder if initially that maybe he's like in pain or something. Maybe he stubbed his toe. And then you look around him on the floor, and it's just like thick globs of pink icing are kind of strewn all over the floor around him. And upon kind of hearing you kind of come in, he glances up at you, and it is smeared all over his mouth, like he's been cramming it fistfuls of icing and cramming them into his face.
Yep, okay. This is happening. Hideo takes a couple of steps back and then reaches for his phone.
I'm just a little hungry, you know? My blood sugar level is really low.
Quentin, everything is going to be all right.
Don't have any other sugar on you, do you? As he kind of slowly kind of gets up and kind of turns to you. And there's just something underneath this man. You know this energy. It's the pulse. The pulse has him.
I am dialing.
Ooh, to do what? Are you going to call friends? Are you going to pull your weapon?
I'm gonna put out the message, and I think we have like a signal in like the group chat, because of course we have a group chat. Why wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have a signal in the group chat, and it's 3 black hearts in succession.
And as that's sent behind your back, we cut away to Crimson, who at this hour, you're going to be delivering mail tomorrow, so you're probably preparing to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then your phone goes off.
3 black hearts in quick succession. And just as like quickly as I see that, it's like the sort of drum roll music begins, and I swoop over out of pajamas, and then the next thing you see is like zip, and I'm like putting back on my like battle clothes, which for me is just my work uniform again.
Mm-hmm.
But it just like infuses me with the spirit of delivering the mail on time, so I am ready to meet every single challenge that the 3 black hearts indicate.
We get like Edgar Wright style quick cuts.
100%,
like,
yes.
Clothes thrown.
Exactly.
Back on, zip up, door closed. Cafe door closed.
Yep. Mm-hmm,
As we immediately resume within the cafe as Hideo. We see Hideo, I think, having just made their way back into the main room of the cafe, as like there is a gloppy pink hand that has kind of like slammed its way between the door and the door frame as Hideo tried to close the door.
So Hideo is backing up further, and he's at this point trying to stall for time. So he's sort of like, he's not going in full on yet. He's just kind of like trying to bait Quentin around the room, try to loop him around and keep him from...
Why don't you give me a roll for that? That sounds like a roll to me. Will you be using any tags for your roll?
I think my work tag works here because this is my place of business.
Okay, so give me your heart rate of 4 plus 2, please.
Okay. Ooh.
Just the one success. I need to remember to keep calling successes. I apologize. I was going to set this at 2 because this is clearly a fight in close range.
Yep.
It's a bit more tense. You don't succeed at the roll, which means that I get to change your heart rate by up to 2. And so tell me how you try to prevent and stall for time and prevent this pulse-infected individual.
So
getting out.
Hideo tries to use the layout of the cafe to his advantage. He sort of like baits him through tight corners and uses the tables, will kind of upend tables here and there to sort of like try to throw him off the trail. And he's just, without pulling out his weapon yet, he's trying to just stall for time for the other two to get here.
And as you're kind of like dodging around, you dodge in front of, I think, a display tray of like cakes, and the Quentin with a question mark, I guess now, Quentin, looks at them because sugar, and just kind of like launches bodily, almost stretching inhumanly at the cakes to which you're in the way on, and you get splattered with pink icing. I'm going to raise your heart rate by 2, so your heart rate jumps from 4 to 6. You also rolled 2 ones in this roll, and in heartbeats, when there is a scene with multiple people with heart rates in it, for every 1 that's rolled, I get to change the heart rate of somebody else in the scene by 1 for each. So since you rolled 2 ones, Crimson, your heart rate also increases by 2.
I'm at 8 now.
So, because this is an action scene, Hideo, I give you the option of, do you want to pass the spotlight to Quentin, or do you want to pass the spotlight to Crimson? So who's going next in the turn order?
I think let's pass it to Quentin.
Okay. So, Quentin fully gloms onto, like almost envelops the cakes, and you hear like a disgusting sound of like eating, and the form of Quentin just gets a little larger. Sugar, more energy. We're passing it to Crimson. Whatever this is just seemed to have gotten worse.
So I think it's at the point that this sort of like creature goes sugar more energy that they just sort of like kaboom, last jump cut of the montage. The door is open and they have the hand truck in one hand and the doors in the other. It is just like, excuse me, that is for a refrigerated truck, and just comes in and is gonna try and run over the sugar creature to get it away from the cakes and whatnot that it's eating.
Absolutely. So. I think this is going to be a 2 difficulty roll.
Okay.
Would you like to be using any of your tags for this?
I think I'll go ahead and use my package courier because the one-liner of the refrigerated truck. So that lets me add, 2 dice?
Yes.
Heart rate is 8.
8 in total.
How many bonus dice? 2. Submit.
10 dice already.
5 successes.
5 successes. So it's a critical hit.
But I did roll 2 ones as well, so.
So let's go and resolve this in order first. You exceeded. So tell me how you go above and beyond under the current circumstances.
So let me just ask so that I make sure that I kind of have this right. The creature, is it like enveloping Quentin, or is he sort of transformed?
Seems that you have arrived to a pink goo monster that seems to be attacking Hideo right now.
Okay, it's pink goo. All right. So I think the way that I'm going to succeed with some great panache is... Ooh, okay. if I can have just like a wee little bit of a like magical flair, because it's an
Of
anime,
course,
I think
of
that
course.
that's fine. When I
Mhm.
say that's gonna need a refrigerated truck, I kind of like snap my fingers a little bit, and maybe the arm that's like reaching out gets a little bit frozen in place, like how frosting will stop running and melting all over everything. So as the creature's like glomming all over everything, I get to sort of freeze it a little bit and stop it from actually touching me or moving its arm for a minute.
It reaches towards you and like energy, and then you just freeze over. I think this will also defeat this slime monster Quentin ? So do you you attack this frozen form? So describe your attack that will essentially shatter this frozen icing and defeat the threat.
I think after the icing is frozen, I like hop up on the back of the hand truck and then just roll over, and then I look down at the little shattered bits of icing, and I'm like, you should have eaten more vegetables.
As your mail cart plows into the form, Quentin, like as they were before, kind of like blasts out of the back of it from the momentum of the impact and goes flying to the door opposite, thwunk, and kind of like slumps to the floor.
God, there was someone in there.
As the frozen icing now shatters and kind of lands around on the floor. A couple of things execute in order. Because this was an exceed and you exceeded the target of 2 by 3, you get to change the heart rate of people in the scene by up to 3. So would you like to change Hideo's heart rate?
What is your heart rate at currently, Hideo?
6.
Is it by 3 total, or can I go up to 3? Or can I change my own?
This exceed is for other people in the
For
scene,
other people. Okay. Well, okay, so let me just talk through this for a second. Mine is at 8, so if you want, I can raise yours by 2, and then I believe we get to do fun things together when our heart rate's the same. Granted, it's kind of high, so I want to ask your permission.
There are some changes that I get to do after this change. There were some ones rolled as well.
Right, okay.
So I might also change Hideo's heart rate. I might not, but I might.
Let's play with fire and take mine up to match yours.
Okay, so we're both at 8 now. I increase yours by 2.
Cool. Would you like to change your own heart rate by up to 1, Crimson?
No, because okay, so if I'm changing my own heart rate, how about I bump you up to 7 and myself down? So we're both at 7.
There we go.
But yeah, that way we're a little bit less out of the boiling water imminent heart rate.
Okay.
Well, who knows? Who knows what happens if you go over 10? I sure don't know. Who knows?
Nathan, stop taunting me.
2 1s were rolled in that check. I'm going to, because the threat is now over, Hideo, you breathe a sigh of relief and your heart rate drops by 1. So Hideo, your heart rate goes back down to 6 again. Crimson's is now at 7. Fantastic. In this moment of kind of pause, you all realize that Musashi isn't there.
He didn't come.
Meanwhile, back at the Pink Diamond nightclub, let's go for a little bit of this. Hell yeah. It's poppin'. We are now like I think you're already put into your job, as it were. You've already the process of you being kind of allotted as what of your tasks to do have already been kind of set in stone, and you are set up to be serving drinks at the bar. Although the kind of like options available to you seem to be actually light on the liquids, really. There's a lot of caffeine available, a lot of sugary drinks, cotton candy, entire marshmallows, thick syrups, all of it, a violent shade of pink.
Well, this is just gross. I'm getting paid decent money, so I might as well suck it up for now.
You open a jar of like maraschino cherries, and the smell of cherries and like rose is enough to kind of like put 2 fingers in your nose and almost wrench them off your face. It's so strong.
Why add rose water to this shit? Oh my god.
A group of people come up to you. Oh my god, that bartender! I would. Like, if it was bad, you know? Could we please have the Mind Blaster? We'd like 5, please. You know? Just for me?
I guess. Looks over the recipe for it.
You'll give us discounts, right? Come on, you know we're worth it.
In his head, he's like, not in your wildest dreams, and just goes to making the 5 drinks.
And as as you're kind of making the drinks, it kind of moves with the camera kind of moves over to the kind of like DJ area, and we see this lady in a yeah, it's fine. A really kind of like angular face mask. If I say that and you think of like the super angular face mask from like the Game Master and Squid Game, it's very that energy.
Yeah, that was exactly what popped into my head actually. So yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it seems to be made of like an anodized metal, so it has the kind of like rainbow sheen to it.
Okay. Yeah.
And really, really long, like platinum hair, and a reasonably kind of like high-tech looking bodysuit. She looks like somebody who was doing an OC for like Tron Legacy.
Ooh.
And with a kind of like a heavily filtered voice that kind of auto-tunes all up and down and all over the place, which I won't try and imitate, and it's too late to try and put voice mod on right now, so you'll just have to imagine it. Being kind of like, hey party people, are you ready to get down and dirty at the Pink Diamond tonight? And everybody just loses their shit at that. Everybody be screaming. And she's kind of like, right, this one's one of my favorites. It's like being hit in the head with a frying pan. We love it here. And she starts pulse pounding these beats, and she ain't fucking kidding. It is too much. The mixture of the lights and the smell of the drinks and the heavy blasting of this kind of like hyperpop EDM is starting to just kind of like have a toll on you physically. I'd like you to make a roll. Tell me how you go and survive this onslaught of like sensory overload.
Oh man. I think he is just sort of attempting, because, you know, the headphones he typically wears aren't very conspicuous. So he'll just sort of, you know, these cheap wireless earbuds that he has, sort of just pop them in for a second and just start playing some of his own music to try and drown out this whatever this music is.
Yeah, go and give me a heart rate roll.
Yeah, I don't have anything that works, so we'll just go ahead and
Let's
roll.
do a flat one.
Ooh, 3 successes, but I did roll 2 ones.
Ooh. I was gonna call that a 2. You beat me to it. You go so fast. I'm so used to the mod. You didn't give me time. It's all good. Yep, that was a 2 difficulty check. So
cool.
You do manage to withstand the onslaught of the sensory overload. Would you like to change your own heart rate?
Yeah, I think he's starting to chill out a little bit, so we'll go ahead and bump that back down to 5.
Let's see. So you kind of weather through the storm of this, and meanwhile kind of make the drinks and everything.
Mhm.
And as you serve the 5 drinks to this group of people that that the camera recognizes as the group of teens that were at the Maid Cafe earlier today, it seems that they did actually make it to the Pink Diamond. The energy of them is really different. Like, they're no longer gossiping between themselves. They're just kind of like standing and waiting for you to make the drink. And as the drinks all arrive, they grab them in unison and just chug them while not breaking eye contact with you.
Do I recognize this as anything odd / pulse-like at all?
I mean, not only does it have the same energy as Claudia, Cindy, Claire with an I. I didn't write it down.
Kathy.
Kathy with
Kathy
an
with
I.
an I. Thank you very much. Not only does it have the same energy as Kathy with an I when she was consuming her 12 shots. Yeah, there is definitely a pulse-like energy underneath this.
Oh boy.
Mm,
He will do like pull out his phone briefly, and I guess sees now the 3 black hearts that Hideo sent, and it's just like,
I don't think you get signal down here.
oh fuck me. Okay, cool. I think he sort of ignores that. Like, he probably knows, but in futility is gonna send the 3 black hearts anyway.
And
And-
as we get the kind of like sending as it tries to keep pushing the message through, the queen bee of that group throws too much money onto the counter table to pay for the drinks, and they all kind of turn in unison and move to the dance floor as the DJ spins another record, and they start dancing. And it's like, you've seen Pop-In and Lock-In before. Like, the isolationist skills required to move parts of one's
Yeah.
body independently. And they've all taken to it really well. And it's quite subtle to begin with. Initially, it looks like they're just standing there. And then you kind of feel them moving more and more and wider and wider. One of them, and reaching an arm out, kind of like hits like a bar table, like one of those smaller kind of tables
Yeah.
that be on like the edge of a dance floor, and that goes spinning with the amount of force that it was hit with. It hits one of the walls and cracks.
Okay, yeah,
And-
time to go to work.
Yeah.
And he'll start I guess he kind of kept them with him under the bar, these sort of like, not necessarily like very bulky gauntlets, but sort of almost like they almost kind of look like white like leather gloves that at each of the knuckles you sort of see these raised, like, I'm not sure how to put it. Basically, it looks like something would be shot out of them, basically. And then just wrestles them on. Does he know if he gets breaks here?
Do you care?
No. Wait, so do I need signal to pull out my weapon?
I don't think you do.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Feel free to go and give me a transformation sequence as you go and pull out your weapon. Describe
Okay.
the poses that you go through to
Oh, yeah.
summon your weapon.
He's not the flashy type, so I guess he kind of more just like sort of taps a few things on his cell phone, and you just watch as this like chrome sort of almost like staff like implement comes out of the phone, and there's multiple sort of like rods that are protruding from the top of it, and he'll just sort of flick it out and presses a button, and you watch as the rods all light up with this sort of plasma like energy. He's just like, in a very monotone sort of voice, will sort of go to the edge of the dance floor and look at the? You said there's like 5 of them, I believe.
I mean, they've joined other people at the dance floor. This set of 5
Yeah.
have started to go ham, but there's a lot of people out here with
Okay.
the DJ lording over it all.
Because he's a little bit extra, he's gonna. I feel like he would have something for this. He'll set it so like the blades almost sort of like pulse and beat with the music, and we'll just look at the 5 blades, just like, all right, think you're having a little bit too much fun here, and sort of nods his head over at the now probably destroyed table that was flung.
Yeah. I think one of them turns to respond, like acknowledges that there was a voice behind you, and turns to look at you, or rather, their head just kind of effortlessly kind of turns free from their body to kind of look at you. And slowly she opens her mouth and pink goo starts pouring out. And with that, I think we're going to go to our 5-minute break.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We're going to see you on the other side. See you in 5, party people. Hi, party people. Hello. I am once again your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. Ooh. We're going smooth and sultry here because we are playing a smooth and sultry tabletop RPG, Pink Heartbeats in Perfect Sync. This little tale that we're weaving together called Pink Diamond. Let's go and put some beats underneath us as we move into introducing who our fantastic players are. Oh, let's go with some Space Channel 5. Yes. Nice. So, this game, inspired by a wide variety of shonen battle anime and JRPGs like The World Ends With You and Kingdom Hearts, is all about ordinary people summoning oversized weapons and fighting the darkness in people's hearts called the Pulse. These three players are those ordinary people. Let's go with Spencer real quick. Introduce yourself and your character and what happened to you before the break.
So I am Spencer, and at SpencerDVA on Twitter, Discord, etc. I am playing Musashi Nishimiya, who is a coffee shop barista here. And while we come back from our break, it seems like he's going to have to go 1v5 against several pulse being things. So it's going to be an interesting time.
Indeed. Let's move over to Nymeria. Go for it. Introduce yourself and your character and what happened last time.
Yes, hello everybody. I am Anna/Nymeria on the internet, and my character Crimson, before the break, made some really fancy, fun hot chocolates for everyone. Literally helped an old lady across the street, and then defeated a sugar icing frozen monster. And freed Quentin, the person trapped inside the strange pink goo of the Pulse, with the power of the Postal Service.
And watching that display go down was Celeste, who is playing Hideo.
Hey everybody, I'm Celeste PLS with way too many underscores on Twitter. I'm Celeste Shepherd here on Twitch. I am playing Hideo Katsumatsu. You use he, him pronouns. I use he, they pronouns. And Hideo, unfortunately, was confronted with the unsavory fact that when he called for help, one of his friends did not appear. And we're going to be finding out why that was here in a moment.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. As we return to our session of Pink Diamond, the camera resumes inside the Maid Cafe. Once again, strangely silent after there was the sound of combat, the sound of shattering ice, and the sound of a very awkward wannabe or male maid in training hitting the back wall and slumping to the ground. Crimson and Hideo stand, observing the fact that the threat is now over, but also wondering why their third ally, Musashi, did not come to their aid.
I think Hideo kneels next to Quentin and makes sure that he's all right.
Oh, my head is pounding.
Are you well?
I feel like I've had like 10 sugar crashes at once, he says, wincing at you.
Sorry, I'm probably responsible for like 3 of those, but in fairness, you did eat a lot of cake before I ran you over with my truck.
A lot of cake? And he looks over at the thoroughly demolished cake display.
Yep.
I did that. I don't even like cake.
What's the last thing you remember?
Well, I was making my way back from a nightclub that all my friends are going to, and then I went as well. My voice is up here. There we go. I remember what this character's voice is like. And I went as well because, you know, it's nice to have that kind of camaraderie with your friends and colleagues. And they didn't let me in. I apparently didn't meet the requirements. But there was something about the smell of the place, maybe, and I just felt really hungry. And then I remembered that I was out of, you know, various sundries at my house, so I went to go back to the cafe to pick up some sugar. I was craving sugar, but I don't think I could look at a sugary food or drink at any point now.
Was the name of this place the Pink Diamond?
Yes, actually, indeed. How do you know that name? Have you been? Is it good? I would have liked to have gone.
I look at Crimson. I think Musashi might be in trouble.
I'm going to pull out my phone and text in all caps like 3 black hearts. Do you copy?
The messages bounce.
Yeah, look. Can I ask, because Quentin said that he had like smelled the sugar in here. I want to just sort of take a very deep breath and see if anything happens to me. Because like I just got here, but I'm kind of wondering, was this a thing or was this a cake thing?
So you take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to roll for this.
Okay, roll to breathe.
I mean, you know, in other games, I like running mystery games a lot. So
yeah,
there would be sometimes mystery solving rolls would be a thing, but that ain't what this game is, baby.
True.
So you take a breath, and the general space smells like cafe. You're getting old wood. You're getting coffee. You're getting cake. You're getting floor wax because this place was pretty recently cleaned. And then, like, in the same kind of way that you would notice if there is like a garbage can, to use American words, in the background is like a passive smell. You're like, there's a really sweet smell coming from over there. And you go back to where the kind of like back room, which is still seems to be covered in like pink icing like slime. And as you get closer, the stench of like candy floss and cherries and rose water just filling your nose.
Ugh.
Overpowering.
I would like to open the lid and see what lurks inside.
Yeah, sorry, the garbage can was like a metaphor in terms of like, you know, yeah. But it was just that you go to this back room and the pink slime that happens to be in this room reeks of this kind of like overly sweet stench.
Okay. But it doesn't appear to be moving or otherwise sentient the way that it was earlier.
It's inert, just unpleasant.
Just a gross inert state. Okay. I'm gonna go back to Hideo and be like, I think we should make our way towards the pink diamond. And I also think we should beware the color pink. And I look at the ends of my hair. You know how to stop me if anything starts to go weird.
I do, Crimson. We should hurry.
Yes, let's go.
We cut to out once again, kind of like outside the. Oh man, do I even have anything kind of like appropriately ominous for this? I guess not. It's fine. We are. Let's go for this. This will do. Yes. The night air as you move towards Festival Coast, the most, you know, popular area for nighttime entertainment in Ljungsberg, famous for the old Ferris wheel that is like towers over on the pier that has been there for as long as you or anyone else can remember. You managed to do a piece of passive Googling to kind of find where the Pink Diamond nightclub is. It seems to actually be on a map. It's not hard to find, like it regularly exists. And as you kind of go through the kind of like bar and nightclub district, there are various people just kind of milling around, enjoying their evening, just kind of like in alfresco kind of spaces and partying it up. And as you kind of make your way closer, there's a couple of people that are kind of like, they look drunk initially, like they are like staggering a little bit, shuffling a little bit, looking at the floor. And as they get closer, you can kind of smell not booze, not cigarettes, but sugar on them.
Well, this doesn't look great. And I'm going to roll up the sleeves on my uniform, do a significant eye contact to look at Hideo and be like, let's go in there and find our friend. I know we have to get past a bouncer. I'm just ready for comedy gold.
It's all good. It's all good. You approach as you kind of get closer to the nightclub. The shuffling kind of like drunkards approach you, and they're like, "Hey, do you have any like sugar? I'm really low energy, and I want to keep partying, but I need more sugar."
I'm sorry, sir. I find myself on a shortage.
And yeah, they turn to look at Hideo in particular, and it's almost as if it's almost like a withdrawal symptoms from these people. They look gaunt. There's dark circles behind their eyes. So tired. So in need of energy. Maybe if you even have like coffee or like gum. If you've got gum in your pockets, I'll just eat that. That's fine. Please, I need sugar. I need.
You need to rest, sir. You should go home.
Useless. Useless. As they kind of like stagger past you and just approach somebody else. And start asking them for sugar as well as you move closer towards the nightclub, and the 8-foot tall, sculpted like a closed, twisted umbrella bouncer is standing outside.
Well, hi.
Do you have an invitation?
We actually, there is a friend of ours inside, sir. He is working this evening. We have a delivery for him so he can continue to do his job.
Oh. Well, we were running low on marshmallows if you have that shipment with you.
Yes, I have lots of marshmallows. I just need to scope out the best place to deliver them with this hand truck.
So this is the kind of game where, your like pulse fighting powers and your mail truck could summon items if you wanted to, if you wanted that to be part of your character abilities. That's entirely a thing you
Funny
could
you
do.
should say that, because I was actually gonna ask that with regards to the person that was begging for sugar. So I'm just like, when I say I'm just looking for the perfect place to deliver these, I would like a giant like pink box tied up in a white and red ribbon to appear on the hand truck, and in this like most flourishy like calligraphic handwriting ever, to just be like, ah yes, like the fancy boutique marshmallows that clearly cost a fortune.
Well, that sounds like a heart rate roll to me, friend.
It sure does.
Will they be
Okay.
using any tags?
Let me see. Let's use, I've already used package courier.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use speedy delivery for this one. I'm just
Hey,
gonna mark that
clever.
off because it
I like
feels
that.
very timely to do such a
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
So I will roll. Where is the roll 20 tab? There we go. Heart rate is 7.
Oh, before you roll, let me set the difficulty.
Oh,
first.
yes.
There we go. Sorry.
2 bonus dice.
You're pulling something out thin here. This feels like I believe magic is usually I've set magic as kind of like 3 difficulty. 3
Okay.
roll.
Yeah.
Making something out of nothing is
Creating sugar out of nowhere. All right, let's do
Mm.
this. I'm rolling 9 dice.
pretty good odds.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh,
Not
crap.
only is that only a single success, you rolled 4 ones.
But it wasn't critical.
Okay. So
Oh no.
you make the box.
Hurt
You
me.
make the box. Well, I'll let Spencer decide. Upon opening this box, what's inside the box, Spencer? It sure as fuck ain't marshmallows.
Hurt me.
Oh man.
Oh no.
I'm trying. That's a good question. It was also a hard one.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just give you time to decide while I laugh internally or externally.
I'd like to. Okay, I think I figured it out. So
Mhm.
back when we fought the pulse that sort of seeded Musashi with like a deep paranoia. His old phone broke. So he had to end up purchasing a new one. So now inside the box somehow is the old phone that was destroyed in that fight.
What? No way, though. That's not good. That is
With a
not...
flourish and confidence, you produce and open this box.
Just
And,
Vanna White's a Samsung Galaxy S4.
And the bouncer looms down, like bends down and in to look at the box, and then looks at you. What the fuck do you call this then?
It's a startup.
Get out of here. And get out of here before I make you. And like the narrow form of him, like an arm emerges from the shadowy narrow form of him that's clenched in a fist. So your heart rate increases by 2 because this man is terrifying.
I'm at 9. This is bad.
This bouncer is very scary. There's also 4 ones here that I have to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Do we? Yeah. Hideo, your heart rate goes to 10. Remember, you have to go over 10 before there are complications, TM.
Right.
But
I was going to say, though, that leaves 3 ones, though.
Oh, no. Because there are 4 ones in that roll, and Hideo's is at 6. I'm pushing that up by 4 to 10.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So additional complications have not occurred, but the sight of this man, this very attractive man, and that initially got your heart rate up, and then they were threatening to do physical violence to a friend of yours, and that put you immediately into maximum fight or flight today. Crimson, would you like to pass the spotlight to the bouncer or to Hideo?
Because I like danger, let's pass to the bouncer first.
Absolutely. The bouncer, is like, you're clearly not welcome at the Pink Diamond nightclub. Get lost. And the hand, like, way larger than you were expecting, bang, large, grabs Crimson, slams Crimson against the wall, and its head starts kind of looming towards you. Hideo, what do you do?
I think Hideo puts himself between Crimson and the man and looks directly into his eyes, and his teeth are sort of grit, and he's got this look in his eye, Crimson, that you don't see terribly often. It's like almost like he's gone feral, and he just stares him down. You need to unhand them, sir, before I do something drastic.
Would you like to make your roll this kind of like intimidation procedure?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure, roll your heart rate.
I just love that you're doing this in a maid outfit in heels. Like this, just the visual of this is adding years to my life.
The bouncer does not scare easy, and this will be another 3 success roll to intimidate successfully.
Yep, no worries.
Would you like to be? Don't worry. About that, Musashi, about that note, because there is nobody else in the scene with you. Those ones that you rolled don't have a target to go towards.
Got
so
it.
you're okay. You're good.
Cool.
But yeah, 3 successes on the dot exactly, Hideo. Amazing. All right, go and tell me how you go and successfully manage to make this bouncer do what you want. What do you want the bouncer to do specifically?
So I think Hideo, not only after saying that, he gets right back up in his face, which is impressive because Hideo is not that much taller than Crimson. So he's sort of like, not only are the heels adding to it, but also like he's sort of like stretching himself up and standing as tall as he possibly can. But then he also reaches over and sets a hand on his arm and just very gently starts to squeeze.
Gulp.
The bouncer lets go of Crimson with a snap of like almost like cartilage, and you kind of like hit the floor with a bit of an oof.
Ow.
And your heart rate increases by 1.
I'm at 10.
Hideo,
Yes.
would you like to change your heart rate? Do you want to go up, down, or keep it as it is?
Just for the drama of it, I kind of want to go up. Just for the absolute drama.
I fuck with that.
I love it.
So, let's go and get. We're gonna go for some of this, I think. Please.
Ooh, nice.
I don't hear it in my ears, but if it's playing in your ears, then that's fine. I can
It
just
is,
remember
yeah.
that it's playing. Cool. So, Hideo, your heart rate. You feel your heart pounding in your chest, like it's trying to almost break out of itself. This is the second time in a row you have been facing down against Pulse and your friends have gotten hurt. And are you even actually any of you good at this anymore? Are you the only competent one here? Do you have to do everything yourself? And do you feel that pulse, that paranoia? You see, actually, I think in your vision, I think we see in a POV of Hideo, like bloodshot creep in the edge of your vision, and then just a flickering in the corner, you see the paranoia cryptid that you failed to defeat before. It apparently was still with you this entire time, and that was enough to push you over the edge. Hideo Kasumatsu, you have a sudden dark transformation. Please describe it to me. To the table.
Hideo, his eyes begin to glow red, and out of his back emerge these leathery wings, and the ends of his skirts become tattered and worn, and his hair begins to look very mussed and very tangled, as though he hasn't taken very good care of it, and his teeth elongate into points. And he's grinning wider and wider, impossibly wide. It splits his face to his ears. And he stares at the man. Why don't you do something for me? Why don't you get me your manager?
Yes.
Oh no, it's a vampire Karen. As the bouncer, I think, has a moment of staring you down. There's like dual cut-ins of your eyes, both his and yours, and then the bouncer straighten themselves back up again. And says, "Well, it seems that the darkness has infested your heart. You're welcome here as much as you like." And gestures to the side and allows both Hideo and Crimson to step inside.
Excuse me, what the heck? What is it that you just did? You have wings! You have had wings this whole time! And this is like very high pitched, but I'm imagining kind of drowned out by the deep bass stud. Like I'm not trying to make a scene. I'm just kind of freaking out a little bit.
It's fine. It'll get us what we need.
Well, what we really need is for Musashi to answer his phone. And I'm just gonna keep like furiously tapping the resend message over and over and over.
As you descend the minute-long staircase downwards. Meanwhile, Musashi. Yes, while this was kind of going on, things are heating up in the Pink Diamond nightclub. It seems that you kind of threw yourself down as wanting to mosh amongst the crowd.
Yeah.
So with your laser umbrella drawn, one of the punters of the nightclub turned their now gooey icing-like neck around 180 degrees to face you as ooze dripped out of their mouth.
All right. Let's try and make this quick, yeah. And not using the laser umbrella he has on him first, we'll just sort of aim out one of the gloves that he has on towards like just the closest one he sees.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll watch as like you hear like a hissing from the glove for a second. And then you'll watch as these 5 bullets of air just sort of shoot out of the glove, and I would like to try and hit maybe a couple of them with that, if I may.
A couple of them. I think that's
or
gonna
just
be
one. That's fine.
A couple of them will be 3. A single one will be 2.
Okay.
Which one will it be, my friend?
Let's give myself an easier chance, harder chance. I'm gonna do a couple of them for the 3 difficulty.
You're gonna hit a group of them. Okay, go and roll your heart rate. Would you like to add any tags?
I would like to add my tags of the Force gauntlets that I have to.
Absolutely. Then you can add 2 bonus dice to that
All
roll.
right.
Go roll them bonus for me, baby.
It will do.
5
Ooh.
successes.
And yeah, sweet.
That is a critical. There aren't any other people in this scene just yet that you can affect with the heart rate, but you do get what you want and extra. So describe this critical hit of these air bullets.
All right, so you watch as at first they all seem to just kind of like scatter, but then he'll sort of maneuver his fingers a bit, and you watch as they all curve and hit this group and sort of launch them into the DJ stand. And then you'll hear the song changes, and what should I make it? Because I like to name songs. I think
you can give me a tone and I can kind of work with that.
Okay. I like to think, just to annoy him, it becomes something even more like sickly hyper pop.
Oh, okay. I think I can do that. Yes. Give me a second. That will come in when it comes in. But for now, who would you like to pass the spotlight too, because at this point, I think the others are able to make their way in.
Okay.
Here we go.
I believe I also get, since I succeeded, I get to choose my heart rate goes up or down,
Yes,
right?
you get to choose whether your heart rate goes up or down by 1.
All right. Let's bring it up by 1. Sure, I'll go to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, cool.
I will give the let's give the
To Hideo,
spotlight.
to Crimson, or to me.
Ooh. I mean, I hit you first. It's only fair you get the chance to hit back, right?
Mmm.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Yes, as you fling these punters into the DJ stand, and like the record skips, and the lady behind the DJ table, who, as previously described, has like a really big like geometric mask like the one out of Squid Game, but rainbow, really, really long platinum hair, and like a Tron bodysuit. It seems that people in the crowd are getting wild tonight. If they want to go hand to hand, then they only need to just ask. I'm happy to oblige all our customers to the Pink Diamond to dance until they motherfucking die. And she like puts one boot onto like the table, like the mixing desk, just big stomp, and from one of her hands extend like shattered vinyl records, long claws.
Ooh.
And that is at the moment that Hideo and Crimson managed to get into the area of the nightclub. I'm going to pass to Crimson first.
Can we see that Musashi is engaged with this long talon-like
Yeah,
DJ
you
lady?
go to the scene to see that the people are going ham, that a handful of people have been knocked over, assumedly by Musashi, and that the DJ has now broken vinyl records for claws.
Ooh, okay. So I think what I want to try and do is, let's see, thinking about DJ booths. Can they control the lights from there, or are these sort of lights and special effects and stuff separate from that booth?
I think it can be the same place for just ease of working.
Okay, cool. Because I want to try and get a hold of controlling those lights. If they're controlling music, I want to control the lights. So I'm going to try and like basically dive into the DJ booth and see if I can tangle with this person and try and take control of the station.
Sure. That is going to be not only a
Desperate.
roll, it's also going to be an opposed roll. For the DJ, also has a heart rate. And when two
Ooh.
characters have a heart rate that are competing against each other, it becomes a roll-off. The ones no longer matter.
Okay.
But for first, we're going to go and declare how many... Are you going to be using any tags?
Well, I have a really quick question then. What's everybody else's heart rate at? I'm
Mine.
at 10.
Mine is at 6.
Okay.
You already know where I'm at.
Well, your heart rate reset to 5 because you
Oh,
got
it
heartbroken, Hideo. Oh, so that's an important thing to kind of resolve,
Okay.
and we didn't do it before. Hideo, now that you're heartbroken, you gain an additional fighting tag. You can use it as many times as you like while you are heartbroken. Because while you're in your dark form, you are stronger. However, if you go over 10 again in terms of your heart rate, you will purge the pulse from within you and go back to normal. If your heart rate drops below 1, the pulse consumes you and you
Okay.
Just FYI. So Hideo's heart rate is currently at 5.
So this is all to say I'm not going to be using any tags this time around because I have ideas I'd like to save them for. So what is my difficulty here?
Well, instead of having a difficulty, the DJ is
Oh,
going
right,
to
we're
roll
rolling
against
off.
you.
That's right. Okay.
So the DJ, Laurentia Yates, whose name didn't have to come up, but you know it now. You get like a
Oh,
cut
yes.
in. Oh yeah, you get like a big cut in as she's
shoo-shoo.
posing on the thing with her claws, like swoosh in Laurentia Yates, killer
Exactly.
DJ.
Very Borderlands.
Yes, I like it. Okay. I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm going to be rolling an additional tag, going real hard, all caps.
Okay.
So she's going to be rolling with 9d6.
Well, I'm rolling with 10. Don't fuck me.
So
Roll
whoever
20.
rolls higher will roll up on the other side of that. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure
Oh
it's to the bottom.
god, 2 successes,
go.
but 3 1s.
Ooh, well, yeah, ones don't matter for rolls.
Oh yeah, that's true because we're doing a
versus
roll
rolls.
off. But
So we're okay here. But, we're just
But it
gonna
was
go
only
here.
2.
Ooh,
Oh
5 successes. Mhm.
no.
So with that difference in the number of successes, I think immediately kind of like body blocks you, and there is like a slow pan from the ground up as you're knocked on the floor. You look up to see what kind of like hit you, and she's just like posing in her bodysuit, glittering in the club lights. Yeah, she runs one of the vinyl claws across like the back of the side of it across her tongue, and as just the heady scent of kind of like sweetness rolls across you, and you just calm down. You just want to dance. You don't want to fight. And I'm gonna drop your heart rate by 3.
Hey.
Who would you like to pass the spotlight to?
Who has not gone just yet?
I do believe that Hideo is the only
Hideo.
person
I
who
thought
hasn't gone.
so. So yeah, let's pass to you.
Before we continue, I have something to deliver on.
What's your tag? Sorry, once more.
どうしたの? あらあら、どうしたの? You paid for it. You got it, people. The dark tag I think is get me your manager. 100%.
Okay.
Um,
You can activate Get Me a Manager as many times as you like while you're heartbroken, or you will have to justify its use.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think Hideo wastes no time this time. He takes his phone and he chucks it into the air, and he reaches in with 2 clawed hands, and when he withdraws them, they're gauntleted on his arms are 2 very long, what look like pieces of shield. And as he dives in with Musashi, he there's blades from the end of them, and he starts just laying into people.
Just in the space.
Yeah.
Okay, since you're attacking people in the space and you are not attacking Laurentia, just go and give me a roll. I think this is relatively easy for you. So even though it's multiple people, I only want 2 successes for this roll.
Okay,
Let me know
no
if there are
worries.
any tags that you want to roll.
I don't think any tags this time. You said I'm back at 5 now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
2 successes. Nice. So you succeed. And you start, describe to me as you just start fucking people in this nightclub up.
Yeah, Hideo is normally he's a very defensive fighter, and he's trying to protect innocent bystanders or his friends. This is a complete 180 from the way that he usually fights. He is full offense, not even paying any attention to anyone around him who may be coming at him. He's just laying into any enemy that he can get his hands on, and doing so with wild abandon.
Cool. It's working. These members of the nightclub, entranced by the heady aromas and banging beats, are being flung across and knocked out as they're hitting walls, tables, the bar. And Musashi and Crimson, you're seeing Hideo just kind of be like, yes, these people are infected by Pulse, but it's a bit indiscriminate what's going on here. Normally, when the round completes, I kind of make the scenario, like, raise the stakes. But I think the fact that there are potentially innocent people being caught up in this is enough stake raising. So I am happy to... who wants... since it's the start of the round, it's open season for whoever wants to take the spotlight. I think let's move to this. So he wants to take the spotlight. It's open season.
Where's everybody's heart rate at again? I'm sorry, I keep asking this because I have a plan and I really want to use it.
I
Mega
have a
five.
6.
Sorry, did I get to adjust my heart rate from completing that?
Oh, yes,
roll?
you did.
Yeah.
You get to adjust
Make
your
it-
heart rate. Do you want to
Make
shake
it
up or
6
down?
then. Make it 6
Cool,
then.
cool.
Oh, and I can't adjust my own heart rate. Darn it. Okay. Okay, well then if nobody minds, I'll just go ahead and do my thing that I have
Go
here.
for it.
So through the magic of being go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I just noticed that we've been raided by 24 people. So hi, hello,
Oh.
welcome.
Woo!
Oh cool. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you very much
Raiders.
for the critical misses.
Oh, it's critical
But we're going to keep the
misses.
tension going.
Hi guys. So what I want to do is I want to through the power of my hand truck that I just sort of have that like it's just out of reach kind of thing. And I'm like, ow, I just got laid out flat on the ground by this really hot lady. And I just like flashed back to me helping the old lady cross the street when my hand truck skills came in handy. And she was like, have a nice day, dear. And it just echoes. And I like see a vision of her grinding down the hill. And I'm just like, yes, I believe in the power of the hand truck. And with the last like little piece of my energy, I reach out and I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna try and do like a whoop-la, like slam attack thing that'll bring me back up to my feet on her and use the hand truck ability to run her
Sure.
over.
Absolutely.
So I'm
Um,
actually invoking that as a tag this time instead of just using it for
Mhm.
flair.
Laurencia, the DJ, is going to be using her tag, a set of gigantic vinyl claws,
Yep.
to go against yous.
All right.
So she's rolling with 7, with
3
2 bonus
successes
dice.
for Crimson.
Oh, you win
I
by
got
1.
Yes.
So you have the option of choosing either yourself or Laurencia and raising or lowering the heart rate by 1.
Okay, so,
So you can do this and raise your own heart rate if you effing want to.
what I actually want to do, because this is too perfect, is I want to lower my heart rate so we're all at 3 6s. So I lower my own heart rate and just sort of do the like after I just like kablow, like hit her with the tires of the hand truck, do the like take a deep breath, roll the shoulders back, and I just go into the zone. And all 3 of us have our
Ooh,
heartbeat.
to note,
perfect
your
sync
heart.
if we can.
Yeah. So your heart rate decreases by 1. So you're
By
set your heart
1.
rate to
So
9.
the no, I'm back down to 7. You had decreased my heart rate at the end of Laurencia's last roll.
No, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Got it. Thank you.
No worries. So we're all heartbeats in perfect sync. Ciao.
Wow.
Intéressant. Well, to note that you, for you to use a team up attack, you have to have not gone yet.
Right.
So your
So
turn has now
that's-
ended. Who are you passing the spotlight to?
I would like to pass to Hideo.
Mm-hmm. All right, Hideo, you're going ham. Your heart is broken. You
Yeah.
are fancy free.
Didn't know you guys.
I think even in Hideo's like wild abandoned state, he has just enough awareness to realize who the biggest threat in the room is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that he's sort of like had his appetizer, so to speak, with the small fry, I think he's ready for the main course.
Mm.
So he dives in on Valencia, and he's like cackling wildly.
Laurencia, having not like taken the hit from the kind of swung mail truck, is like on the back foot and kind of like, I think she falls backwards, plunges one claw into the ground, uses that as a pivot point to do a backflip, and lands upright to kind of receive Hideo running in. Oh, you want to test with the best? Well, let's fucking rumble. What tags are you going to be using?
I think Hideo sort of screeches, "This place isn't up to code!" And I think I'm gonna invoke Get Me Your Manager.
She is also going to invoke her Heartbroken tag, going real hard, but is also going to use Corrosive Pink Slime
Oh.
as one of her tags. So she's using 2 tags and rolling +4 on this roll.
Okay.
So let me just get all that set up. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll click submit at the same time if you want to. Have you rolled already?
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. 4 successes, 5 successes.
Wow.
Let's see. What is your heart rate at?
6.
It's 6. She pushes your heart rate up to match hers.
Okay.
And as your heart rate increases in the heat of battle, you lock eyes and you feel a connection. You feel this spark of unbridled energy and chaos, and not giving a goddamn about what anybody else thinks. And you understand her in that moment as your hearts beat in sync with each other and you're both heartbroken. Who would you like to pass the spotlight to? I believe it's just Musashi, or to her.
I think I'll pass it back to her.
I think yeah. She spends her turn like she drags her claws like down the wall, and the screeching of that kind of manifests as additional EDM beats, and the intensity of just the sensory experience of the place gets more intense. And a lot of the kind of like punters, instead of kind of just like moshing to themselves, start to kind of they rise up, and they start to kind of crowd the space. And now the room is now filled with moshing individuals. The room is too crowded to get much of a foothold. Between you and her, there is a storm of moshing, thrashing bodies. As let's go and push to Musashi.
Oh, what am I doing? That's a good question. Oh man. I think. Yeah, he's just gonna try, and I guess at this point, there's a bunch of people now between anyone and Valencia. There's like a bunch of moshing bodies now. Okay. Hard choices. I think he is.
Oh, you have a special ability that could help here.
Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, I didn't think Burning Drive could work that way.
It gets you past any obstruction to where you want to be in the scene.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that, actually.
All right. Talk me through how Burning Drive activates for Musashi.
You sort of watch as he almost gets into sort of this like a runner at a starting block sort of position, and he'll just take both of the gauntlets he's wearing and sort of just point it behind him. And you watch as, almost with more violence than normal, the air shoots out from the gauntlets and will like basically launch him through the crowd. So there's probably going to be some people that are hurt by this. And sort of just is right in Valencia's face.
All right. And now you're free to go and make whatever roll you would want to anyway.
And I am going to take my laser umbrella and try and take a slash at her.
She is still amped up and ready to party, so she's going to use her heartbroken tag, going real hard once again against you.
All right. I'll use my laser umbrella tag for this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rolling 8 dice at the
2.
moment.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, 3 successes. 1
Cool.
success.
Yeah.
You go in with the laser umbrella, almost like a lance, and she does not block the attack. Instead, her body almost turns to the pink slime as the umbrella lodges within her. And Crimson and Hideo, you see Musashi entirely defenseless, just kind of get clocked in the face with like incredible force. The umbrella popping back out her again as you hit the deck, and just like, why? Why would you even fight people like this? This is pointless. Your heart rate drops by 2.
Ooh, okay, I'm at 4. All right.
Who would you like to pass the spotlight to?
Um,
I don't think Crimson's gone yet.
I did.
Don't-
I went at the top of the round.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So
So
if
I
it's
think it's-
everybody,
I think
then
that's the
it's,
end of this round. Yeah. So.
And then the
States.
situation gets worse.
Yep.
So yeah, with you being knocked out of her, she's like, "Let's go take this party to the streets. We're gonna paint the whole town pink." As she kind of like dashes through this swathe of people that you've knocked aside, and propels herself out of the nightclub to go and reach the city streets.
Did she actually make it out of the building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's out in the public now. This is kind of bad.
Just a bit.
But the
And it's
people
not
in the
free for all
club
if
are
he wants to
still
pick up.
dancing and having fun and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're still losing. They're still losing it over here. They're just boogieing down. Aside from the ones that have been, like impacted with gusts of air or like hit with like shield blades, they're probably not doing great. But everybody
Right.
else is still going ham.
Okay.
Hideo looks like they want to go.
I was gonna say, yeah, go.
I think Hideo sort of screeches, "Don't you walk away from me!" And he's off after her like a shot.
Yeah, let's go and have a roll to see how easily you catch up with her. This is
Okay.
unopposed. I'm gonna say that this is a 2 success required roll to make.
Okay. I'm at like. Am I still at 6? I think I'm still at 6.
Yes, your heart rate is still at 6.
Okay. 2.
You make it with 2. So yeah. I can picture instead of going down these stairs, your wings kick in and you just fly back up the stairs at speed. And I think this separates you from the others for a moment. And as Valencia, it was Laurencia, but I like Valencia more. It's Valencia now.
Whoops.
No, it's fine. Hits the streets and kind of like gestures to the crowd like, "Hey, party peep," and then just gets impacted in her back as you go flying out of the door and you both go skittering into the street. People are now screaming and panicking. Who do you pass the spotlight to?
I think I want to see what Musashi does here.
Okay. He's gonna see Hideo leave, and it's just like, I mean, none of these other people are trying to attack us, right? At the moment, at least.
Yeah, it
Okay.
seems like it's become more down-tempo down here. And everybody's still, they're still going for it, but they're not
Yeah.
specifically hostile to you.
He just goes like, "God damn it!" And through a mix of the gauntlets he has and whatever amount of reflex he has, because one of his tags is like inhuman reflexes, is essentially going to use the air as like jumping points almost off of certain objects to try and catch up. to an extent.
That's also going to be a 2 success roll, I think.
Okay. All right, so let's use my last tag for this of inhuman reflexes, and that is 1 success with 2 ones. Huzzah!
Oh, you failed. Yeah. You tried to rocket yourself with your gauntlets, but that the way that you hit the ground, and I think that just the ambient detritus of partying and slime has gotten into one of the exhaust ports in the gauntlet, and it backfires as you try to rocket yourself out of the space, and you overshoot and slam into a wall. And your heart rate, I think, drops by 2 again. As this is now just so stupid. You could have just not taken this job. You could have gone home. You could have been napping right now. And instead, you just chose to put yourself in harm's way. Why do you do this to yourself?
Shit, gonna have to fix this later. And he's just gonna rip the one gauntlet that's broken off as he hits, like, after he sort of slides down from the wall.
Crimson, you see Musashi kind of like eat shit into the wall, and you fear for his like health and well-being. You seem like you got clocked pretty hard.
Your heart rate's real low too, right?
My heart rate is a solid 2.
Oh boy.
Your heart rate increases, Crimson, by 2.
Okay. So I'm at 2 and 8 now. Okay. I think I would like to use my special move, Pure Soul. So I can call to an ally and they'll hear me no matter where I am. And so I want to do a sort of like, whether I'm actually doing this or Musashi has a little bit of head trauma, do a little thing where it looks like I'm kind of fluttering down from the sky. And I'm gonna just like put both of my hands on your shoulders and like go to pick you up and just be like, look, I know that in the past, the things that we have been fighting have come between us, but we're so much stronger when we're together, which means you need to not be eating shit, crashing into walls all the time, okay? Do you hear me? You got this! You got this!
I know it says shift.
Yes.
But from our session 0, their relationship is they're like an annoying older sibling. Stop looking out for me. I can do it by myself. Could I don't want to influence any decisions, but I would like to say that instead of shifting it up by 3, it shifts it down by 3 because it's annoying the fuck out of him.
I am okay with that if Nathan's cool with it, because my intention was to make your heart rate go up. But I like drama, so.
Yeah, I'm fine with more people being heartbroken in this game because it's one of the funnest parts of the game for me. Eventually, you'll sync up a team F attack. I can see you working at it real hard.
I'm trying. You just need to get me all the way down from an 8, y'all, and then we can do it. Okay.
Interestingly, heartbroken people cannot sync up with
we can't sync up
people,
either, that's right.
But Musashi and Hideo could potentially do so. Anyway.
So I just make Crimson... you really depressed instead of
No, you just piss him off.
Okay.
Crimson says those words to you and it just sits in you.
And you'll sort
what
of
do you say back?
You know, sometimes some of the shit you say can get real annoying. How many times have I told you I can look out for myself? And you'll just watch as sort of these black tendrils of like what looks like smoke sort of sprout from his back and sort of just start to cover his body. And leaving nothing but the eyes, which you just see the irises are now sort of this color changing brightness that, again, sort of like the laser sword from earlier, sort of like in beat with some of the music at the club and changes colors on beat and stuff.
Your heart rate resets to 5.
Yep.
And you also gain a new fighting tag representing your heartbroken powers. What is that tag?
Oh. I think I'm going to make it unstoppable force.
Cool.
Of course, of course. I also, if you don't mind, I think with that word and you transform, you silently leave the scene, you go upstairs.
Yeah, perfectly fine with that.
As
Sad
you-
violin music.
Yeah, leaving Crimson in the nightclub. I like the shot of that, of everybody in the nightclub is just dancing, is losing it, but the kind of lighting is focused on Crimson, middle of shot, just still. Yeah. As we make our way up to the surface on the streets again. And I think Valencia turns to Hideo and is like, "Well, we can keep partying together if you'd like. I'm having fun. It's nice to see somebody who can tap into the dark, dirty side."
Why are you so relentlessly positive? Do you think this is a game?
Of course everything's a party if you try hard enough. This joy that I'm feeling, I want everyone to feel it. I want everybody to be dancing to these jams 24/7. Can I get an amen? Like, she turns round to the kind of like people who are freaking out that 2 demons have basically burst out of this nightclub. And one of them is like, amen? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And
Shut up!
yeah, I think she goes to she fights you, like she goes to the claws to attack you, but she's just having fun, and this is like play fighting to her at this point. She does not activate any tags and is going to be doing a just a raw roll. Let's kick in some fights again. Let's go here. Yeah, looking good, right? Yep, she's going to be making a roll of 7 at you. Are you going to be using any tags back?
I think we're still just sitting with our 6.
Okay, let's go.
That's
Oh,
high.
both 2 successes. Yeah, we get proper kind of like anime clashing here. There's a knockdown, drag-out fight in the street going on between Hideo and Valencia. Claws and wings and teeth. I am going to pass the spotlight to Crimson.
All right, well, since all of my friends are going far off ahead of me to go fight the bad guy, and I don't really like being left alone by myself, I would like to try some big magic, please. So what I want to do...
think you don't need to roll to get back up to street level. You can just catch up with everybody without having to roll for that. That's fine.
Okay. So I kind of want to, though, use the magic to do, like, the arrival / smackdown of Valencia, because I have the tag through Dark of Night. So what I'd like to do is basically, like, as I'm catching up to the rest of them, open up a giant, like, portal sort of above her head, and with this, like, crash of thunder, these almost like early 1930s, 1920s cartoon grouchy rain clouds are like all around it, and this spray of rain is coming down, and I just do a oh, boom, like Thor's hammer kind of punch down as I'm falling out of this portal. I just kind of like land on top of her and do a punch.
That sounds rad. She doesn't see that coming.
Cool.
So she's not going to roll against you, and it's just going to be a 2 successes to make sure that you land the hit.
All right. So heart rate of 8, 2 bonus dice. And I got 2 successes.
You made it. You made it.
That
So
was very satisfying.
As there's like a blade lock, I think, between Valencia and Hideo, as you can hear the kind of, I think instead of getting like clattering or screeching as if there were metal clashing, it's like vinyl scratching noises as
Yes,
the
I was
slashes
gonna
are
say
kinda
that.
happening against each
Perfect.
other. Yes, good. And as she bounces back, there's like a skidding along the ground, claw digging in the asphalt. Oh man, I'm having so much fun. We could be going all night. And then just plunging out of the sky is Crimson attached to the mail cart as it kind of like clocks her in the back of the head and goes skittering away off to one side. She hits the deck and there is an opening. Would you like to shift your own heart rate, Crimson?
How much do I get to shift it by? Just 1?
By 1. Up to 1.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna shift it up by 1. And as I say that, I'm gonna look down at her and just be like, we're only going all night if I say so. And then I'm gonna pass the torch to, which one of you hasn't gone yet? Sorry.
Neither Musashi nor Hideo have gone yet.
I'm gonna pass to Hideo then, because you've got swords crossed, or you had swords crossed.
To resolve a couple things, can you give me your heart rates, Musashi and Hideo?
Mine is currently at 5.
I think I'm
Yes.
still at 6.
Okay. What that attack did, because there's 3 ones floating, 2 of those ones are going to go to Laurentia, and she gets pissed and raises her heart rate to 9. Musashi, you see that there's a battle going on out here. And a little bit of bloodlust kicks in for you, and your heart rate increases by 1 to 6.
Yep. You got it.
Oh, look, there are 2 people who haven't had a turn yet who have a heart rate that is the same.
At last.
I wonder how that could have happened.
Wow, golly gee.
So I think Hideo sees Musashi and sees the darkness has overtaken him as well. And he just he looks at him and their eyes lock, both of them sort of glowing. And I think there's sort of this moment where they both charge in.
To give sort of a more like aesthetic look, because I just said smoke form basically. Imagine if anyone here has watched Berserk. Imagine sort of like the Berserker armor from Berserk, but in smoke form. And the one arm that does have a gauntlet now is just sort of. It looks like a cannon, basically, at this point with the heart rate drop.
Ooh.
So.
Yes, nice. So, when making a heartbeats and when you're making a perfect sync attack, you can declare how many tags either of you are rolling, and they are cumulative. So you both have sources of tags to use for this attack.
Okay. I mean, because it combine all their dice pools in the perfect match. Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just using Unstoppable Force for mine with my Heartbroken fighting style.
I think
Are you going to be using any tags? Go for it.
I think I'm gonna use my weapon tag for this one.
Okay.
And I think Hideo sort of like charges at her, but then leaps over her head, sort of spins in midair, and then hits the ground as Musashi is charging up now behind him. And then Hideo locks his shield pieces together and extends it. And Musashi just sort of like charges into him, being the unstoppable force that he is.
No, I would like to flavor this a different way.
Okay, go for it.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Let's establish that we've got our tags going, and then when we resolve the roll on the other side, we can do the dramatic flick between
Okay,
of
yeah.
your special attacks, because Valencia has some tags that she wants to go kick in too.
no
she's going
worries.
to use head shaking beats and her heartbroken tag going real hard because as you both close in, she just lets out a gigantic wall of sound that will kind of basically enough to put a crater in the ground. She's going all out here. So she'll be rolling with 9 + 4, 13 dice.
And then I believe I'm contributing 8 since my heartbeat is 6, and then a tag of unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an 8 from me as well because
So
6
that's-
and a tag.
So 16 total.
Okay, who
Okay.
wants to roll that 16?
I'll go
Ooh,
for it.
Yeah.
Sure. My heart rate is 9. She's using 2 tags for 4. All right. When you're
And-
ready, let me know. We'll hit submit
3,
together.
2, 1, go.
Go.
Oh.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, we won by 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Only
didn't
one
see
by
the first
one.
roll.
It was a very close measure. So yes, the camera. I think the camera starts with Musashi and then it flips to Hideo for the other side of the attack. So you
Okay.
do the first part, Musashi. Go for it.
Okay, so he's essentially just going to run up behind Hideo as he sees him interlocking his shields, and will just point sort of like the gauntlet arm right at their back,
Mm.
and we'll just sort of lean in. It's just like, hey, don't fuck this up. And we'll fire and sort of launch them forward.
And Hideo, as he's launched forward, he's just this wall of shield that's charging at her.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of like slams the entire flat of the shield into her. And then as he impacts, then he unlocks the portions of the shield, pulls his arms to the side, and crushes in with the blades.
Yeah, she goes in with the blades hit the wall of sound like it's a solid object. And there is a tension moment here as you don't know whether it's going to be breaking through. The pavement cracks under the weight of this combined impacted attack. And then eventually you see her start to lose her footing. And then the sound of wall blows her backwards as she goes flying into the opposite building. And her heart rate, well, actually, you both succeeded at this roll, so you either have the chance to simultaneously change your heart rate by 1 or change her heart rate by 1. She's currently at 9.
Okay.
We take her up.
Ooh. I mean, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down.
You won't take her out. You'll be putting her at 10, but she's on the ropes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Her heart rate increases as she kind of like looks at the both of you, and she's smiling so wide. I might die here. Oh, I've got to get the fuck out of here. And she like wrenches herself out of the wall and makes to try and escape. She is going to try and basically launch her way through Crimson. Crimson is kind of blocking the escape route, I think, on the street. So she's going to try and dash past you to escape the scene.
Do I do a contested roll or is that
Indeedy.
okay? So I'm gonna invoke my last tag. If it fits, it ships because I don't want her to fit through the alleyway, so I don't want her to be able to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 plus 2, 11 dice.
And I am rolling at. This is going to be the last roll, I think, of the story. So, which is what I was leading up to anyway. So
Yes.
this will decide whether you defeat this pulse or whether the pulse gets away. You ready?
Yes!
All right.
believe!
In 3, 2, 1, go.
You got this.
Oh! Oh, she succeeds.
Oh boy.
You both clash, and she leans in. Like, in that moment, in that moment, there's a moment where there's almost a moment of calm on impact. And almost as if the rest of the world, actually, I think the impact makes the rest of the world kind of go into monochrome. And both you and her are radiating in color, like shifting in kind of almost like a chromatic aberration kind of thing, as she like puts a hand on the top of the cart and leans in towards you and says, I think, in your ear, well, you can come party with me anytime, baby. I'll see you around. And pushes down on the mail cart, the impact of which dents the lid, wrecking the top of the thing as she hand springs over you into the night. And there's just a weird energy between the rest of you now. As, well, this is the second pulse that you let go away.
I think Hideo sort of like breaks the silence with a scream of frustration. And as he does so, the darkness that was purveying him sort of dissipates and his wings retracts. And his maid outfit still looks tattered and torn, and he still looks a mess. But now the sort of more demonic features that were on him have sort of subsided, and he sort of takes off his glasses, which are now cracked, and runs a hand through his hair and composes himself.
I'm really sorry that I couldn't stop her.
The fault is not yours alone, Crimson. I lost control.
Crimson takes a pointed look at Musashi when you say this. It's just like, yeah, well, I think you kept it together a little bit better than some other people. But it is what it is. You let another one get away.
Musashi remains silent.
Yeah. Remind you that I'm the only one who's still affected by a pulse.
Well, that's no longer true. You saw what happened to Hideo. And the other members of the public, with the threat gone, are now kind of shaking their head a little bit. There's a slow crawl of people out of the nightclub. Their sugar rush now passed. They kind of I don't remember anything. Well, oh, what a party! I think it's only 11 p.m. It's we've been going for hours. He wants to get a kebab, I guess. Oh God, I could love a kebab. I could murder a kebab right now. As they and all kind of start to slowly shuffle away.
I think seeing the public start to rouse a bit, you'll see the smoke sort of almost seem to disappear into his back.
And with that, oh, sorry. Let's have a parting word before the scene moves on.
I'm gonna need another one of those hot chocolates, but put a couple more shots in it this time.
Just as long as the sprinkles are not pink.
No. Not this time. Not for a while.
Now we need those taupe sprinkles.
Yes.
The purple whipped
We
cream
need
and
the taupe sprinkles.
We're gonna get. Let's see, what kind of beat are we going for the kind of closing? Upbeat, but still a little bit wistful is what's kind of like. Let's go for this. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
It's a Saturday morning in Jungsburg, and we get 3 scenes in quick succession. The credits are starting to scroll over the end of episode.
The ending theme
but
songs play.
Yeah. But we get like each of yours like mornings the next day, so it's a Saturday. Let's go with. Actually, I'll let you pick who wants to go first. Who wants to have their essentially ending scene first?
I think we'll have Musashi go first, sure. He's sort of just laying in bed and, picks up his phone, is scrolling through some text, and then he pulls out like a Nintendo Switch from under his bed and is sort of just idly gaming for a little bit. Looks like to some, definitely not an existing IP visual novel sort of thing. And then eventually will text in the group chat he has with Crimson and Hideo. It's just like, you just get ... as one text, and then afterwards, in like all lowercase, sorry.
I think we get a match cut of somebody looking at that phone as that message comes in. Who is it?
I think it's Hideo.
Go for it.
And Hideo is sat in his living room, and out on the side on the couch cushion next to him is a sewing kit, and he's mending his uniform from last night. And he's in, for once, not a uniform. He's in more casual clothes. It's just like a t-shirt and jeans, and he looks far more typical of his age now, and his and he's mending his uniform, and he looks at the phone, which is also sat next to him and is lit up with the messages. And he sets down the needle and thread and sets the uniform aside, picks up the phone, and responds. You are not the only one who owes us an apology. I do as well. And then like a little like bowing emoji.
Aww.
Crimson, wherever you are, your phone goes off.
Yeah, they're just kind of like laying on the couch in their apartment, listening to some music on like an old record player that they have, and they start to type. And so like the two of you see the little like dots, the ellipsis going, when suddenly they hear a knock at the door. They go put the phone down to answer the door, and they see a sort of flat envelope with handwritten words that say, "I'll be seeing you." Out of it, they slide a flat vinyl record, put it onto the player, and as that like sweet saxophone note at the beginning of that song, cut to black.
Yeah. Yeah. As the vinyl record comes on. And then in the black, you just hear in the background, it's like...
Yes! One for the road.
And that has been, ladies and gentlemen in the non-binary, Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, Pink Diamond.
Oh, that's so fun!
Yay!
Before we go and do all closing out bits and pieces, one thing that I do like to do in all of my tabletop RPG streams is comments and kudos, where we go around the table and just point out a dope thing that another player did to highlight to everybody how cool they are. So what was a scene or an action or that somebody did that you thought was really neat?
I mean, my favorite was Spencer saying, "Can I use your special power up to cause more drama and sadness and shift my heart rate down?" That was awesome. And more generally in our session 0, all of y'all helping me out as the total hasn't seen an anime period of like helping me get accustomed to the tropes and the stuff and the this, and so
You took to it fine.
RP and out of character, good help. So thanks, Spencer.
You're real killin'.
Yeah.
Actually, in the rules of Heartbeats and Perfect Sync, it has like a little post-game thing where you go around the table and either give somebody an increase in heart rate or give them a new combat tag reflecting the session that they just had, which we can interlink that. So, Crimson,
Fancy.
what additional tag or increased heart rate would you give to Musashi on the other side of that?
I think because a lot of our character conflict is due to the fact that my character is super emotional, I'm going to give you a tag called Walk It Off.
Nice.
Yeah, I
nice,
like that.
nice.
You can just like shrug things off for a little.
Musashi, to make it a circle, what was the moment that Hideo did that was...
Ooh.
Or rather,
Man.
Spencer and Celeste. Sorry, I've been
Yeah,
staring
yeah.
at your character names all day.
Oh no, you're good. Don't worry. Oh man. I think just Hideo being Demon Karen, I guess, or Vampire Karen was the one we came up.
Vampire Karen.
Was
Yeah.
kind of great. Not kind of great. It just was great. Yeah, I mean
Nice.
that entire thing was very nice. Very nice.
Would you increase Hideo's maximum heart rate capacity by 2 or give them a new tag?
Oh man, I want to give them a tag, something retaining how earlier in the game they said something about like the building not being up to code. So I would like to give them the tag OSHA Tightwad.
Yeah, that fits.
And Celeste, what was the moment that Anna did that was dope fresh?
I mean, first of all, everything Crimson was like just it's the kind of character I usually play, which it was refreshing to be on the other side of the screen from that. It was bringing that kind of an energy. So first of all, and just the general like her being so positive and sorry, them being so positive and upbeat and just, oh my gosh, everything they were, I just, but I think the one that really got it for me was just the way that they wanted to be there for both of the guys. And I think the tag I would give would be emotional support Kite.
Oh,
Very good. Very good. Love a pun.
So good.
And with that out of the way, I guess we're going to be doing our goodbyes and stuff. We're dead on time, I think. We have like the
Yeah.
15 minutes to do our goodbyes and all that. So let's go and kick in some funky fresh beats under which, and then we can go get out of here. Please. Nice. Cool. Let's go in reverse to what's on stream. So Celeste, who you be? Where can we find you?
Alrighty, guys. I am Celeste PLS with way too many underscores on Twitter. I'm Celeste Shepherd here on Twitch. I don't do a whole lot of streaming of my own, but you catch me on other people's channels like tomorrow right here at not this time slot, but the 3 o'clock-ish time slot. I'm going to be running a Persona TCRPG one-shot for this very same fundraiser. So I'm super excited about that. I'm sure I'll come up with some manner of donation incentive like I did for this one. And honestly, we hit $1,000 today, y'all. That is wild. I think you've earned another ara for that. So ara. But yeah, and then every other Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, catch me on over at twitch.tv/MattHab7 with Masks Sunset City playing Lucas Nisk, aka the Messenger. And that is, gosh, I love that game. I love those people. I love that table. I love that GM. Everything about that game, y'all, is just, I want to scream it to the heavens. I want to turn it into an actual comic book series, to be honest. It's so good. So you guys should show out for that as well. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. It'll be Standard Time again. Yep, because we're coming out of daylight. But yeah, that's my home. I love it there.
Thank you so
and it
much.
has been so nice to guest over here. This has been great. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Uh-huh. It's been real. It's been real. Anna.
Hello, it is me, or it is I guess I should say. I'm Anna. I'm at Nymeria941, pretty much everywhere on the internet. I am a little bit in between streams at the moment, but I do have a couple of exciting projects coming up, including Stygian Shadows, which is a newly announced sort of City of Mist Urban Shadows type campaign that we are playing in the Diesel Punk 1920s on Chromatic Chimera. So make sure that you're following them for updates, because we are getting ready to start recording and stuff for that, and it's going to be super great. I also make TTRPGs, both with Zweihander, our Flames of Freedom game, which is right behind me, is out now for Grim and Perilous games in the American Revolutionary War setting. So if you're into like werewolves being real and that historical period, check it out. And
Werewolves real?
Werewolves are real, actually.
Wow.
They're very
It is true.
bitey. They're just like chomp chomp. And I also make games with my best friend Colin at Six String Games. You can follow us on social media at Six String RPG. We actually just finished writing our first one-pager, which is a sort of creepy holiday kind of game about cursed toys ritual on the most magical night of the year. So yeah, check us out there, and thanks everybody. This was super fun to play and try out, and I had a great time.
Marvelous, marvelous, darling. Spencer.
Yes, I am Spencer at SpencerDVA on Twitter, Discord, etc. I am not doing any streaming things at the moment, but this was my first net I've been in that's been GM'd by Nathan. This is actually my first time meeting Nathan, was for this weekend as well.
And aren't I a fucking delight?
You are. With all honesty, you are. It was so fun, and it was super fun to get to play with some of these folks at a table again. And yeah, that's me.
Ah, well, speaking of me, let's speak about me for a moment. I have once again been your androgynous android game show host from the future caster. Or Nathan Blades, either IVTube as well, in addition to doing this on the Neon Caster on Twitch, twitch.tv/Neoncaster. At the moment, we are streaming one night a week at 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. Eastern, where we do a variety of card games. We're working our way through Inscription at the moment. It is very good. I also design tabletop RPGs, like the one you have been listening to for the last 3 hours. It is available for $5. Please buy it. I paid my rent and then looked at my bank balance and sighed heavily. So, buy my game. Thank you. I also voice the character of Oromar Vale on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast. I think I'm doing a pretty okay job at it. Everybody's been very nice. I'm a sexy zombie pirate dad. It's neat. And as I say, I do VTubing occasionally as my AI alter ego caster, who is just as much as a gender disaster as I am. That's me. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you for donating. Ada.
Yeah, and hi everyone. This is your disembodied voice of the dinosaur deity known as Valdrian. Please stick around. We are coming back at you at noon PDT, so the top of the hour. So wherever you're at, it could be 3 o'clock, it could be 7 o'clock. But please stick around. We will be back with the spy game at noon. Our good friend Bakura will be running it. I will be playing in it. Our friend Rex and Pope, who is in chat. So yeah, don't go anywhere. And everybody just wave bye. See you later. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.